I'll call this. Seriously? I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up. I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
Objection.
I will fuck you up. KO. I will fuck you up.
Bukkake. Bukkake. Trooper Bukkake. 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 Trooper Bukkake. Bukkake.
Welcome to the Weekend Live Show.
508 is where I'm from.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
Apache Junction, Canton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchard, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, Billerica, Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hanson, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Mapleville, Quincy.
Food stands, leave your clothes, buddy, and
hey, you funny ass guy, man.
Have you ever heard of Turtleboy? Yeah? Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from.
Hey, what's up?
508 is where I'm from.
How was that?
You a freaking idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid.
Call me Aidan. He's not a doctor, but...
Get out of my store, please.
You're a fucking loser.
You are a loser.
You're not a journalist. You're nobody.
You're not turtle hair. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
NFL on the house, blog out.
Let's get this party started.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Boys, go baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chop up the singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom. Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom. You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time. Tick, tick, boom.
Boom. What's up, people? How's everyone out there doing tonight? Good, good, excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aidan Kearney, also known as A. Timothy Kearney, when I'm wearing leather jackets, deep in thought, in the woods, solving mysteries. I'm an award-winning journalist who goes by Clarence Woods Emerson on Facebook. You can also call me Uncle Turtleboy, as old school turtle riders are known to do. Or you can call me, what else? You can call me Doctor. I actually prefer doctor because if Jill Biden's a doctor, then so am I. You can also call me daddy, I guess. I won't make you do that. I know that could be a little weird for some people, but I don't really care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. and make sure you smash that subscribe button, guys. Every week, I'm like, can we get to 102,000? I used to gain like 1,000 subscribers a day during the trial. Now it's like last 30 days, 110 new subscribers. We're up to 1,000. We're up to 101,908, right? 101,908. And right now, as I speak to you all, I see over 2,000 people on YouTube. I got 1,500 people on Twitter right now. So I know of the over 2,000 people in climbing right now, at least 92 of you haven't smashed that subscribe button. Can we smash it? Is today the day we can get to 102,000? Can we do it? Smash it real quick. Let's see. 910. We just got 2 more. We're only 90 away. Only 90 away. We can make this happen. In the meantime, every day with the fucking chair and the shit disappearing. Oh, okay. Come on. All right. Let's find a nice little balance here. Okay. Nope. Then the shadow's creeping up. I don't like that. But whatever. I mean, can I deal with that? I think I can deal with that. I don't like when the chair disappears. I don't like it. But all right, guys. Let's refresh it again. 912. We're only 88 away. We're only 88 away from 102,000. So make sure you go and do that. All right, guys. Anyway, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, what else was I going to say? Oh, if you like the program and you would like to do a little special message that gets read out loud to the class, I do those. And let me just bring up my Safari here so we get them. It's called Turtle Chat. We don't do super chats here because I had the wrong opinion about 4 years ago about the vaccine mandate. Remember that thing? You had to get that thing or else you're going to die. And then people that died are the people that got it. But yeah, if you did, I'm not allowed to like just take your money, which is fine because YouTube takes like 40% anyway. So we just built our own thing, our own little chat system. It's called Turtle Chat, and I get to keep all the money that way. It's great. If you click at the link at the top, it's pinned to the chat. You can click on it and you can, give whatever amount of money you want, pay whatever amount of money you want. Probably, no dollar things. I don't dance for $1. Okay. It ain't the old days anymore. So if you got like $5 or more, whatever you want to pay, you get to do that. And then you get to write a little message and I will get that message in the Turtle Chat and I'll read it out loud to the class. You can also donate via something called Cash App. If you have Cash App, my Cash App is $ Uncle Turtleboy. Same deal. I'll get the message that way and read it out loud to the class. We got a couple turtle chats already. First one is from Romy. Donates 50 big ones. Getting us started off nice there. Thank you very much, Romy. And she says, I'm sick of the Commonwealth. 227 happened. Okay, that's all. For real. I mean, look at the shirt I'm wearing tonight. Never forget this shirt. Like, this is a reminder that this fucking happened. And it's absurd to suggest otherwise. It fucking happened because it did. All right. Because there has never been a situation in the history of law and order before where a Cellbrite data report shows an incriminating Google search and somehow the prosecution has no interest in it. Like the only interest of the prosecution is proving an incriminating Google search didn't happen. It's literally never, ever, ever happened in the history of law and order in which the government, the prosecution has been like, whoa. We have to find a way to disprove an incriminating Google search. That's the defense's job traditionally. And they've invested substantial amounts of time and money into trying to prove this. And and we just need to revisit it because it's completely baseless. It's not even up for debate that it happened. I don't care what this fucking loser from Alberta, Canada said. That guy's a fucking tool. All right. Ian Whiffen, go fuck himself. It happened because it did, because that's what the Celebrate Data Report says did. And it happened, as we're going to see, because the 624 thing really gives it away more than anything. We're going to get into that tonight. So thank you for that one. It's just like, it is not up for debate. She fucking did it. She's evil. Everything they said is a lie about, oh, I didn't call my sister Nicole, even though it says I called her at 6:07 and 6:08. I don't know how that got there. I called John 5 times between 6:40 and 6:50, or between 12:40 and 12:50. Butt dials. Oh, we didn't call each other at 2:22 in the morning. Butt dials. Give me a break. Give me a break with this shit. Okay. No matter how much bullshit they throw at you, just remember that these cunts did this shit. They murdered in this house behind me. John O'Keefe walked inside that little side door there, if you will, front. I know Hank doesn't like when you call it the side door, because there's no side door. It's in the front, right? Okay. He doesn't like that. So we'll call it the side because it's on the side of the front door. He walks in that door, and he never walks out another door again for the rest of his life. Okay. Because his life ends shortly thereafter. He walks into that house. We don't know what happened. All we know is that he comes out of that house and his body is placed on the front lawn, and his eyes are bulging out, and he's got a laceration in the back of his head, and he's got dog bites on his arm, exclusively on his right arm. And they just find him there. And that's it. And that's what happened to John O'Keefe. And if any of these cunts wanted to tell the truth, they could tell us what happened inside that house. But they don't. Because if one of them comes forward and tells the truth, it incriminates all of them, including whoever the person is that comes forward. And quite frankly, it's easier for all of them to just lie, to just keep going forward with the lie. They're all stuck in it now. There's no way out. Like Sarah, there's no option out for Sarah Levinson here to be like, yeah, okay, can I take that deal now? I'd like to actually, it's over. Like, she's fucked. She's got, if and when they go down, every single person in that house, including Sarah Levinson, including Brian Albert Jr., they're all going to jail for, like, some for longer times than others, you know, but they're going to jail. And we know they're not going to snitch on each other. And we can get to all that. And I see this whole thing about, like, see, this is untrue that someone's got to crack. No, they don't. Why they got a crack for? They don't got a crack. This is a misnomer. Like, that's what the other side says. They're like, well, if it's a conspiracy, how come no one's cracked yet? Because they don't want to go to jail. Why would somebody crack? Why the fuck would someone crack? That makes no sense. They would never crack. They would, like, why would they crack when things are going fine? Like, what's happened to them? What's happened to them? Yeah, their reputation has taken a pretty big hit, right? It sucks, obviously, to go out in public and everyone knows you're a cold-blooded murderer. But guess what? I've been to jail before. It's better than jail. I bet you it's better than jail. And they would not have the love and support in jail that I got. So jail would really suck for them, you know? So anyway, that's our first turtle chat of the night from Romy. Next one's from Paul Gianetti, donates $25 and says, Plevin lied about having terminal I don't know how to pronounce this. Metastatic. I know metastasis is when the cancer moves, but terminal metastatic cancer with a 1% survival rate over 5 years. Maybe it's his huge banana tits that has sucked up all the cancer cells like a sponge and has made him a miracle man. Not, he is a fucking liar. Fuck you, Plevy. And I mean this in every little ounce of my being. Okay. With him, as somebody who recently lost somebody they really loved a lot to cancer, and saw how quick terminal cancer, you know, when you get that terminal diagnosis, you know, it's heavy, and you know, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just a matter of time, right? Kevin claimed Plevin 6 years ago did a fundraiser claiming, let's just bring it up right now. Let's bring up the Plevin GoFundMe, because this motherfucker is a lying piece of shit. Kevin Lanahan GoFundMe. Let's see. You know he's a lying piece of shit because he had to run his own GoFundMe, okay, for cancer. Okay. Let's pull it up. All right. And fuck everybody saying, oh, you can't attack this guy. He's lying about having terminal cancer. He can literally suck every dick that has ever existed. Fuck this worthless piece of shit maggot. Like, fuck Plevin. Fuck him. Fuck this guy. Anyway, so here's Plevin writing to save my life. Literally, that's the name of the fundraiser, is Save My Life. Literally, if you don't give me money, I'm literally going to die. Save my life. Like, my life is on the line here. Okay. 2018, this GoFundMe comes out. 2018, he's asking for money for this shit. All right. And let's look at what else it says here. It says, I have been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, which has metastasized to my spine and brain. Woo. So he's got brain cancer, spinal cancer, lung cancer. It's moved all over his body. I intend to beat this. My cancer treatments will be at Mass General in Boston and in Danvers, but I'm also attempting expensive alternative treatments. As soon as you see that shit, that, you know who did that? Mike Fucci did this. As soon as I see that, the whole expensive alternative treatments not covered by health insurance, I start seeing that shit. I'm like, ooh, I smell a scam. I smell a scam. As soon as I start seeing the alternative treatments, that's like Shane. That's like the shit that the insurance companies aren't going to cover because it's like a witch doctor or some shit. And in Plevin's case, it's probably just made up. There's no alternative treatments. Fuck this guy and his fake fucking cancer bullshit, which I hope will boost my chances of survival. So he needs money for expensive alternative treatments, and he raises $3,000. Okay. So his goal is $7,000. He only raises $3,000, and it's for these expensive alternative treatments. And if he doesn't get the expensive alternative treatments, then he's going to die, right? Like, that's what he's saying. You're right. Like, I need money for these expensive alternative treatments, whatever they are. He's not going to tell you, but if he needs it, and it costs exactly $7,000, and if he doesn't get them, he's going to die, right? So that sucks. You know, he's going to die. So he only raised $3,000, yet he's not dead. Yet somehow he's not dead. Riddle me that one. He goes on to say, I'm not looking for charity, except, and by the way, you know, you're a fucking loser if you allegedly have terminal cancer and no one will start a GoFundMe for you. Like, you have to start your own GoFundMe because no one will start one for you. I'll tell you one thing. If I get like some horrible cancer and I need some money or something like that, whatever, like, you know, I'm not going to have to start my own GoFundMe. Someone's going to start one for me. I don't know who, but somebody's going to do that. That's how it is. If you're dying of cancer and no one's going to start one for you, you have to do it yourself. Bro, I've never seen this before. That's another red flag. He goes on to say, I want to work for every penny of it. My plan is to produce and post stories on my new blog, writing to save my life. Oh my God. And then we got to go to his blog. Okay. So no one's reading his blog. And he's like, well, maybe if I say I'm dying of cancer, people will read my blog, and I'll put a puppy up there too. I have stage 4 lung cancer with metastases to bones and the brain. I'm in desperate fight for my life, and I intend to wage all-out war. For some of the required treatments, I need to raise substantial funds, but I do not want simple charity. I want to work for it. He's going to work for it. And I have only one thing left to offer: stories. Oh, you got some stories. Let me tell you, you're a storyteller. Like how you're dying of cancer. That's quite the story. That's my favorite story. My worst terror, written for bro. And he's got this whole thing. What is this font? So he's got his whole screenplay written out here. Like, bro, no one's buying your shit. No one's listening to your shit. Like, no one's reading your screenplay. Like, you're a fucking loser. How to help this blog? Please participate on social media. Participate, read the stories, make comments, suggest. This is just a way to get him older stories. What's this? My commitment to keep my working throughout this time. I will try to write a new story every week. Oh, God. Fuck this guy and his fucking dog there. Oh, my God. I mean, he looks the same. For a guy that's allegedly dying of cancer, he claims he takes some pill that's like keeping him alive every day or some shit like that. Bullshit. There's no magic pill. Like, imagine that existed. Like, oh, everyone who's got terminal cancer, you just eat this magic pill every day and you will never die. And not only will you never die, you'll be healthy as a clam and able to attend protests and play the Balloon Knot song outside of Karen Reed's hearings and go on your YouTube stream every day in your parents' attic and talk about how you're standing up against the mindless mob. Like, oh, what a piece of shit. Like, what a fucking maggot piece of shit with fake cancer. I know I'm not the only one out there that's lost somebody that they loved to real cancer, and that's why this shit offends me, because his cancer is fake. He has fake terminal cancer. He's not dying now. He was never dying. And Michelle K can go fuck herself. Ban this woman from the chat. You don't tell me to move on, Michelle. Okay. This is my show. I will rant about Plevin being a fucking worthless piece of shit for lying about cancer for 4 hours if I feel like. And you will sit there and fucking eat that shit, won't you? You will swallow every single second of it and you will go nowhere. Nobody tells me what to say on this show. Nobody. Get rid of them. Get them out of here. Mods, ban these motherfuckers with their crying about moving on. You don't tell me to move on. I talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about, and you sit there and you swallow that shit. You go, yeah, and you just take more and more of it because that's your job. You don't tell me. You're not the director of the show. Shut the fuck up. All right, anyway, back to his fundraiser because Michelle wants some. We're going to have some more. So he goes on to say, and this is how you know he's lying. I am the soup Nazi. And you know why I am? Like, you know why everybody went to the soup Nazi? You know why the soup Nazi could get away with being so rude? Because he had the best soup in New York. Everybody knows that. And you got to fucking put up with it, right? Because he's got the best soup. What are you going to do? And it's like, and that's the same shit here. You come here for this shit because you can't get it anywhere else. So if I talk about something for too many minutes that you don't like, it's your job to shut the fuck up and swallow that shit and keep your goddamn mouth shut. Because this is not a democracy. This is not a place where your opinion matters about where the content's going to be. It's not. It's a dictatorship. And that's why I don't have a guest. I don't have a producer. I don't have a co-host. It's just me sitting here ranting for 3 hours and you swallowing that shit. So shut the fuck up and swallow it. Anyway, back to this. So he says here, I just want to thank everyone who supported me. This is a year later. I had scans this week and the cancer is stable. Okay. The odds of surviving the first year were 44% and I made it. So he's already in the 56. That's great, Plevin. It was over a 50% chance. You beat it. But the odds of making it 5 years are 1%. That was 7 years ago, actually. So he is this fucking modern miracle of holy shit. And he only raised $3,000. I go to the gym twice a day. Yeah, I really look like it and feel great. I also just completed a novel, one I conceived with my longtime writing partner, Dina McKinnon. Oh my God. In the weeks after my diagnosis. So life is great. Please don't send any more money. I just wanted to give an update and say thank you. If anyone in your family is struggling with cancer, needs to talk to someone, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Okay. Fuck off, Kevin. So anyway, that's Plevin. So I hope Michelle enjoyed that because I will talk about that all night if I want to. And you will sit there and swallow that shit, won't you? Anyway, back to the turtle chats here. All right, got a few more coming in here. Jen McCabe's Duckwater sends $25 and goes, Krusty Panties apparently has enough time to drop an episode about you, but not for her multiple court appearances and her children. Yeah, she had 2 court appearances on Friday. I think one for felony witness intimidation in Leominster. Who fuck knows, you know? She's like got so many cases, like serious cases, felonies. She's facing multiple felonies. Cannot stop violating orders, is on all sorts of thin ice and parole and probation, all this shit. and she just can't stop playing with fire. She cannot possibly do it. And she doesn't seem to understand how serious her legal problems are in the years of prison that she's facing. Because I had a nice talk with the prosecutor in Leominster. There's a new special prosecutor on that one the other day. And he's like, yeah, probably just, we'll just get her to plea. And, she'll take, we'll get her to take probation. It's like, oh, dude, she ain't going to plea. Like no way she's going to plea. Like, she is not capable. Like, no way. Plus, with the priors, she can't do it. She risks jail. She can't do it. So we're looking like for a person who is in all sorts of legal jeopardy to be sitting there casting judgment on other people and their supposed legal problems. Like, she's obsessed with raffles. Like, even when she was working for me, she used it. Like, we were going to have an event, and this is when it started falling apart. We were supposed to have this event to do a fundraiser for Turtleboy back in, like, I feel like it was late 2019, and we had it all planned, and she was gonna she didn't want to go. It was odd. She's like, she didn't want to go. And there was an account called Aidan Blarney. Some account called Aidan Blarney starts making comments about how, this raffle you guys are doing there is illegal. And you can't be having raffles. And then I later find out it was her the whole time. While she was working for me, she was writing negative comments about, no wonder her and the fake victim get so long. Jane, I mean. It's the same shit. It's Aidan Blarney and Jane, same shit. So, anyway, she's been obsessed with raffles. And so the Roccos are running giveaways, not raffles. See, there's a difference. One is called a raffle and another is called a giveaway. So that's it. So it's not a raffle. So you can give money to the Kerry Reed Legal Defense Fund. And if we want to, if we pick you, you will get 40% of all. We would just option it to you. You could take it, or you can just donate it back to Karen if you want, her legal defense fund. So you can do that. And so she's like desperately, she sees how successful these giveaways are. They're very successful. Some of them raise, 5 figures, these giveaways. And every time they see that, they get so mad. They're like, fuck. She's going to keep fighting because she has money now. She's raising money, and they hate seeing that. They really hate that Karen Reed has an army of people behind her who are we're just going to keep going, baby. We're just going to keep donating and keep doing these giveaways, not raffles, giveaways. And it's just going to keep upsetting them. And she gets so mad. And she's like, I've been reporting shit to the AG forever. And she was chirping at Jenna Rocco today. Let me just read the rest of this. Dono. It says, Krusty Panties apparently has enough time to drop an episode about you, but not for her multiple court appearances and her children. Oh, big reveal. Jenna Rocco whispers in messages, haha, keep up the good work. Fuck the McAlberts for ruining a damn good drinking town. So some people contacted me about this Krusty Panties thing. And I'm like, because nobody pays attention to her and but she's very proud of herself. So apparently she put together another Turtleboy bad video, Karen Reed bad by by association, but also Turtleboy bad video. And she's got, so there's this new pig, Amy DeAngelo. So I've talked about Amy before on there. She was the biggest free Karen Reed person. She ran the justice page, and she was fully on board with Karen Reed being innocent and blah, 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 blah. I never liked her. I never trusted her. And I would tell the Roccos this. It was a disagreement that we had, was over Amy DeAngelis. And I said, I don't trust her. There's some shit she was doing, some shit she was saying. I'm like, I don't think she should be running the page. I don't trust her. Some of the moves she was making. And they disagreed, right? And, she remained as an admin on the page. Eventually, in late September, probably, she started publicly posting negatively about me, right? Saying that she believed the fake victim and all this stuff. But she said, but Karen Reed is still innocent. She said, she's like, you can believe that Karen Reed is innocent and Turtleboy is guilty. Like this is what she says. And I'm like, nope, you can't, because it's impossible. You can't, because the second you go down the Turtleboy is guilty side, if you jump on that side, they're going to take you in and they're going to be your only friends. And they're all saying Karen's guilty. And eventually, to fit in with them, you will conform. That's what you will do, that because you'll have no more friends left on the free Karen Reed side. They will all abandon you because you suck. And you will be like, well, this is all I have left for friends. So I guess I have to say Karen Reed's guilty. It happens every fucking time. And this bitch said, Amy DeAngelo said, no, not me. I believe Karen Reed is innocent, but Turtleboy is guilty. That has changed. So she is now official, like I predicted from the beginning. She now believes Karen Reed's guilty and is posting shit. So during the fallout, I wouldn't even call it a fallout. I would call it a butting of heads, I guess, in late May or early May with the Roccos. Okay. And I've been over this a million times, right? I've been pretty public about it. We had a disagreement. Okay. I was, jealous, I guess, as they say, about not being not being in court. And we don't even need to go down this road again. I've expressed that I would do things differently if I could, you know what I mean? And at the time, we were not getting along. And I made a statement to them, I think it was Nick on the phone, about how I'm like, if I was pissed that I wasn't getting invited into court. And I'm like, this is fucked up. I'm saying, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck? I've done a lot. I go, if I wanted to, I could just make up some shit. I could just go and tell Tully if I wanted to. Of course I wouldn't. I could just go and tell Tully that Karen Reed put me up to all this. I mean, this is fucked up. I could do that. I would never do that, obviously, for a number of reasons. Number one, I can't lie. I would never collude with evil, pure evil. And also that would be like a horrible, imagine me, the leader of the free Karen movement, turned on Karen Reed. How would that play out? That wouldn't be very good for anyone. So obviously I would never do that, but it's just something you vent about sometimes. You know what I mean? You're just like, well, fuck, I've done so much. And if I wanted to, I could throw it. You know what I mean? I obviously wouldn't. Obviously, it's fucking stupid. Everybody knows that. I'm just venting to one person. And so, so the big reveal this week is that, Krusty apparently got, so Amy DeAngelis was friends with the Roccos. And, during this whole minor fallout that I had with the Roccos, they relayed the message to Amy and said something, I don't even fucking know, something about Aidan's threatening to turn on Karen, something like that. Right. Secondhand bullshit, whatever. They apparently, she claims they brought to the attention of Karen and Alan. News to me. I've seen them all a million times and everything's fine. It's just fucking retarded. And so that's their big ace in the whole reveal. Is ooh, Jenna Rocco and Nick Rocco were upset with Turtleboy at a time and vented to this random nobody named Amy DeAngelis. That's her name, Amy DeAngelis. And bombshell. Oh, so I actually asked, I think they wanted me to get mad about that because in the voicemail, Jenna says something about how what the fuck was it? I don't even remember. It was that they brought it to the attention of Karen and Alan, and that they were like, he's going to get arrested for extortion. That they were, but no, we can't do that because then the cops would be the ones arresting him. That never, guaranteed that never fucking happened. Guaranteed. That's fucking retarded. Come on. So anyway, this is a secondhand story, telephone, this person tells this person something. It's fucking stupid. None of it happened. And the bottom line here is it was intended. She puts this out because she's thinking that I'm going to be like, oh, well, now I'm going to go and turn on Karen Reed and the Roccos. No, fuck you. I don't care. I really don't care. We were mad at each other 7 months ago. We all said some shit that we regret, and it's fucking Dunsky. I don't give a shit, and neither does anyone else. I'm 1000% free Karen Reed and always will be because she's innocent. And the people that murdered John O'Keefe will get away with it if Karen Reed is convicted. So we can't have that happen, can we? Period. So there we go. Anyway, and no, Rita has not flipped either. That's retarded. Rita Lombardi commented under my birthday post. I don't know, it was my birthday or my Christmas post. It was like a picture of my kids. She's like, she had a really nice comment. I'm like, thanks, Rita. So she's back. I don't know if she'll be at the standouts, whatever, but Rita's not going anywhere. Stop it. Rita would never flip. Stop it. It's fucking ridiculous. No sane person is like flipping. You know what I mean? It's like stupid. Only losers like Amy DeAngelis who are in this shit for the drama, But anyway, so yeah, it failed. And the funny part about that is that, nobody's watching it. I saw the views on it. It's like she got like 7,000 views, something like that. Like that's it. All that effort and time, 6,000, 7,000. Oh my God. I have over 8,000 people listening on Twitter right now and on YouTube combined. You talk about 8,000 over time. Stop it. I put out a video the day before that I just tossed together of the fake victim lying in court. And it got like 25,000 views, something like that. Like that's easy, So anyway, so thank you for that one. Jen McCabe's Duckwater. Okay. $10 from Jeffrey Zemla and says, if Karen Googled that at 227, it would be over. Like Brian Walsh's Google searches. But because Jen Googled it, the Commonwealth is doing everything possible to disprove it. Go Lions. Yeah, the Lions, big game tomorrow night, baby. I mean, if they lose that game tomorrow, they can't lose it, man. They're only 3-point favorites, but I mean, if they lose that one, they're the 5 seed. You got to go into Tampa Bay probably, or God forbid the Rams, because they look good right now. You got to go on the road. I mean, they should win that game, but then they got to go into Minnesota if they lose tomorrow night and play there. And if they beat Minnesota, then you got to go into Philadelphia. You'll have to win 3 times on the road. You better hope you win tomorrow night. So anyway, but he goes, yeah, the bigger thing there at 227, I've said it before and I'll say it again too. I'm with you, Jeff. If Karen Reed had Googled how long to Diane Cole at 227, we'd all be talking about a plea deal right now. It would be over, game over, as they say. There would be no Ian Whiffen. There would be no, Richard Green would be working for the Commonwealth. They'd be like, this guy's fucking awesome, actually. This guy's a fucking genius. Let's listen to this guy more often. Voir dire, no, that guy's an expert. Let's have him on everything. That's what they would say if Karen Reed did it. Okay, next up. Thomas, Autonomous Anonymous, sends $10. He goes, forget 227. 624 happened, and Jen saying KR asked her to Google is hearsay. JM and only JM Googled it, and possession is 9/10 of the law, and deleting is consciousness of guilt. Well, she says she didn't delete anything, so that even though it says she deleted it, somehow that's okay. And you're right. It is hearsay that Karen Reed told her to do that. It's untrue, but it's also hearsay, which in my opinion is like another reason Karen Reed should testify in this trial. I think she should testify. I do. I know that Karen Reed thinks she should testify. The biggest opponent, who the biggest legal opponent, I think, and he's a very brilliant legal mind, might I add. Who do you think has been in the legal community the biggest opponent of Karen Reed testifying at her trial? Which lawyer do you guys think has been the biggest opponent of it vocally? You've heard this lawyer say this before. Who do you guys think has like been the strongest advocate for don't do it? Jackson, there it is. Yeah. Betterow. Like Betterow's, I think has been the most vocal. I think Karen Reed's lawyers all want her to do it. Are they okay with it? They're on the fence. I think they're okay with it. I think Karen Reed is the biggest proponent of doing it herself. Like she's ready to do it because she's the only one that could be like, no, Jen didn't tell me that. Then it turns into a he said, she said. But I just think that she has to be very careful, obviously, if she were to take the stand, because they're going to take everything she says out of context. But I mean, if she testifies, like that whole thing about Jennifer McCabe, when she called Jen McCabe that morning, and Jen McCabe said that she called Nicole Albert at 5 o'clock. She's like, I just called Nicole. He's not there. That doesn't get introduced into testimony unless Karen Reed says it. Because who else is going to say that? Jen McCabe's not going to volunteer that information. It's, only Karen Reed can say that she heard Jen McCabe say that. I don't know. I think she should. I think she should do it. Fuck it. I think it would be amazing theater for one thing. And I think if the jury can hear from her, I mean, think about if you're on the jury, what do you see Karen Reed doing? You hear her. The only time you hear her voice is when she's telling John he's a fucking pervert, go fuck himself. Right? That's the only thing we hear from her. And the only thing they see from her are her courtroom mannerisms, which I'm full team Karen Reed, but her courtroom mannerisms do not help her at all. Like, let's keep it a buck. I mean, we can all say, fuck it, she should be able to make whatever faces she wants, do whatever she wants. But the fact of the matter is a dismissed juror was dismissed for making comments on the bus to other jurors that she didn't like the faces Karen Reed made. That's a problem. That, like, I don't know how else to put that to you. It's a problem. Like, they're the ones who get to decide her fate, whether or not she goes free or goes to jail. And if they're cunts, their cunty opinions matter. Okay. And if they don't like the faces that the defendant is making, it's like, that's going to be a fucking problem, isn't it? And so all these jurors know about Karen Reed is she makes faces I don't like in court. And the only thing I've heard out of her mouth is, John, you're a pervert. Go fuck yourself. That's it. That's all they know about Karen Reed. That's it. That's it. So there's that. Also, Karen Reed can testify to some other shit about her like relationship with John. Like, I think that whole thing about how this whole thing about they were on the verge of breaking up is fucking bullshit. I know it's bullshit because I know shit you guys don't know. Okay. But more importantly, it's bullshit because it was introduced into court on the morning of the 28th of January 28th. John was like begging her to come over. Like, come on. First of all, he wanted a ride because he wanted to get hammered, and Karen was going to ride, give him a ride again. And, was trying to get her to leave her house in Mansfield. Remember, she had a plumber and all this shit. But he's just trying to get her there. It's like, so you're on the verge of breaking up. He's trying to get you out of the house, never wants to see you again. And he's like fucking doing whatever it takes to get you there that night. That makes no sense at all. It makes no sense. So, and maybe they could even I'm sure Hanky would try to grill her on her relationship with me and witness intimidation because they're all obsessed with that. And by the way, I got my whole Celebrate data report and, I was finally able to review it all. So I don't know what the fuck they think they're going to find in this phone. I was able to go through it all, read all my messages, all this shit, and blah, 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 blah. Guess how many text messages there are between Karen Reed and Turtleboy, me, on either of my phones, because I got two phones that they went through. Guess how many messages there are between us? A grand total of 0. There are no messages between us. There are some you can see. They're like, oh, there's a message here. And you click on it. And guess what comes up? Nothing. Nothing comes up. And it says why? It says Signal app. Thank God. Not thank God for the Signal app because we got nothing to hide. But as far as when it comes to privacy and invasion of privacy by the government, which is what this is, you cannot read anything. Everyone should be using Signal for everything, no matter what. Anyway, don't message. I mean, just download the Signal app. It works the same exact way as text messages, and just use it in case some shit out, because your shit should be private. You do not want Big Brother reading any of your shit, and you know that they will. Now, this is another thing. Okay, somebody says this. Like this. So, you know, go through my phone and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I sure photographed myself a lot, didn't I? That was, you know, it was part of the courtship, I guess. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm like, there's like 30,000 images in my phone, right? 30,000 images. And I'm like, thinking in my head, whoever looks through my phone is this taint team people are going to come out of this traumatized. They're going to have like, I can't look at the Intimidator anymore. It's too much. It's too much. Like, there's just too much. And obviously I'm not the only one in there. And it's like, so how is this not an invasion of privacy of the other people who are in these pictures sometimes? And they didn't consent to shit. They never were like, yeah, go here. Watch me in my nastiest form. Yeah, here you go. I consented to this. Yeah. Somebody goes, the Katie Thompson video is on there. So Katie Thompson's husband. So Katie Thompson is the WCVB reporter, okay, who was married to Tyler Falconer. Tyler Falconer, I wrote about before the Kearney case. It was a big story I did. He was abusing dogs at his, place in Southie, Falco Canine, which has since been shut down. And he's married to Katie Falconer, okay, who is a WCVB reporter. And Katie Falconer is a cunt who knew all about her husband's misdeeds. But what she doesn't know is that I was contacted via email last year, 2023, and I was sent sex videos of her. How did I get those sex videos of Katie Thompson Falconer and Tyler Falconer? Well, as it turns out, Tyler Falconer and his wife, which is fine, filmed themselves having sex. Okay. And which is wonderful. All for it. But the problem is Tyler Falconer has sent those videos out to other women and uses them to try to get laid using them. So he's like, check this out. Look at my dick. Like, watch this. This is hot. And one of the women was disgusted by this and said she was horrified that he would do this. And so she sent me Tyler Falconer and Katie Thompson Falconer sex videos. Like, and if they doubt me, I know what their kitchen island looks like. I know there's one where she's lying on top of the kitchen island, back on the island, head is sticking off of the kitchen island. And you know what Tyler was standing right there. I've seen it all. I've seen her bent over that counter. I have those videos on my phone. They're in my Celebrate report. So whoever goes through that report is going to see sex videos of Katie Thompson Falconer that she did not consent to have distributed to everyone. So I wonder how she feels about this. I mean, this is what I mean by invasion of privacy. Katie Thompson Falconer, as much of an evil, degenerate cunt as she is, right, does not deserve and did not ask for her sex videos to be seen. I mean, I haven't published them. I would never do that. Okay. Obviously. But the fact it's on my phone and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just not going to distribute it. Well, now everyone's going to see it. And how the fuck is that right? Like this is why it's like, this is a huge invasion of privacy. They are not going to find a single incriminating thing on my phone, but they're going to find a whole lot of violating private sexual content. Tons of it. And they're going to bleach their fucking eyes out after this. And it's going to be horrible. And they're just going to go through it and they see it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, bro, this is really fucked up because you just think something's might be in there. Go ahead. Look through my fucking phone. I don't give a shit. There's nothing to hide in there. I've looked through the whole thing. I was wondering what I had on there. And there's rumors of screenshots of messages with Karen Reed. None of that. I'm like, what? I looked through all my fucking pictures on the Celebrate report. There isn't a fucking thing. And I knew there wouldn't be a thing on there because they've already looked through my phone and they haven't used anything. because there's nothing on there. There's nothing fucking on there. They're desperately in search of something because they know they got nothing on me right now. They're not looking for me. They're looking for two things: Karen Reed, which ain't there, and my sources. They want my sauces. They want to know who's giving me shit, and they're going to find out. That they are going to find out, and that's even more violating and more problematic because multiple people who sent me information on the state police are state police themselves or Boston police. Several Boston police officers have reached out to me with information regarding Brian Albert, and they are all going to be known now. And so that's so fucked up. And people are like, yeah, go ahead, big brother. Yeah, let's fucking get those honest cops and fuck with their lives. That's great. Because there's nothing on there. So, it was nice to go through the Celebrate report and be like, oh, wow, there's actually nothing here, but a whole lot of Intimidator. That's it. So eat your heart out with the, Brian Tully. That's what a real one looks like. Anyway, back to this. Okay. Emily Morgan donates $25, goes, if a wall file logs data instantly, doesn't that mean Hoss Long to Die in cold search that is logged as a wall file at 2:27 a.m. in the Celebrate report actually happened at 2:27 or before? Like, how is that even up for debate? Also glad to see you're fighting Irish winning. Hashtag. Yeah. Bro, that game was great the other night. Georgia. Sorry, Bulldogs. Yes, it's not your time. The SEC, now that all players get paid, the SEC's gonna fall apart. Like, you're no longer the top dog because everyone can just pay their players now. It's great. So you're not the only ones that can do that anymore. So it's gonna be a problem. And the Fighting Irish look great, don't they, folks? We're gonna beat sorry, Penn State. Nice little run you had there, but it's time. Daddy's back. Notre Dame's back in town. Bring on. It's gonna be the Buckeyes. It has to be the Buckeyes. We want Ohio State. That's what we want. Ohio State. Bring it on. But anyway, back to this. Dono, she says that the whole thing with the wall files, I don't understand what any of it means. I get popsicle headache listening to it all. I'm like, and you're probably right. Everything you said is probably true. All I know is it says 2:27 and deleted on a Celebrate report. So it happened, period. Done. Okay, next. Courtney sends $10, goes, I've spent the week clipping some of your funniest quotes from the older episodes. I saw that one. That was a good one you had. I forget what it was the other day. It was a really old one, like 4 years old, but thank you. From older episodes to use in response to the Turtleboy and Karen Reed haters. My account has been reported like 5 times and it's been glorious. I love you, Turtleboy. I'll forever be a super fan. Well, thank you very much, Courtney. I appreciate that and keep up the good work on Twitter. Bob sends $25 and goes, Turtleboy, in my opinion, Jackson Yannetti should go pro bono going forward, except for their expenses. Well, I'm glad that in your opinion, they should work for free. Okay. $5 million is enough. Well, they weren't paid $5 million. You know that, right? They didn't actually get paid. That's what they invoiced. Lawyers, if they agree to work for a flat fee, they're still going to send you a bill about like, here's the hours that I worked and this is what I would have gotten paid, so the 5 million includes that. People are sending in their bingo money, for fuck's sake. The lawyers could make a strong statement of Karen's innocence and we still raise money for expenses. So yeah, Bob, it's easy to say when it's not you, they also, all this time that they're spending on this case, they could be making money on other cases too. They could be taking in new clients and making a lot more money, but they're not. So the Karen's lawyers are doing, basically working for peanuts at this point because fuck it. They got an innocent client. They got to fight for her. Karen's not just a client to them. Karen's a friend and her life is on the line and she's innocent. So there's that. So thank you very much. Brittany sends $10 and goes, I know she is anti-Karen Reed, but you need to look at Tuesday Gazette's Part 1 article about the Vanity Fair story. She contacted Dr. from Purdue and he apparently changed his position. He said he was not given all the information. It would be great if you or another FKR influencer could ask him more questions, especially with the latest motion. So again, Tuesday Gazette is the only part, whatever that, does she have a name? I don't even know who she is. She's like some talking head on Twitter. Who knows if any of that's even legitimate? Who knows? So until I see it, and to what I read, because I saw it, and I think what I read was, by the way, let me how many subs we got now? We're up to 924. We're 76 away from 102,000. But from what I saw in that little report, this is what she quotes him as saying. My comments, this is the guy from the Vanity Fair article. My comments were based on the affidavit provided to me because he was one that said the Google search definitely happened at 227. I was only told that the prosecutor's expert claims otherwise. So I didn't make the comments by comparing their results. I made my comments by looking at the work conducted in the affidavit, Rich Green's. I don't still agree with the claims that it was a gross misrepresentation at the time of Mr. Green's analysis. What does that mean? I don't still agree with the claims that it was a gross misinterpretation at the time of Mr. Green's analysis. I don't know what that means. It was how everyone understood it in that way because of Celebrite's presentation of data. After watching Ian Whiffin's testimony, it's arguable that search might have been on a tab opened at 227, but search was made later at 623. I haven't done my testing on the exact make and model of the iPhone and iOS. Well, if you recall, Ian Whiffin did it on the wrong version of iOS. Therefore, I cannot claim either way, as Ian's tests also were made for slightly later versions of iOS. Having 14 years of digital forensics research experience, I can comfortably say that the version of any program or operating system matter on these kind of issues. So this isn't a rebuttal. This isn't rebuking anything. This is just saying, like, I have to know what the iOS was. Like, yeah, okay. Nothing about this statement suggests the 227 didn't happen. None of it. So there's that. But yeah, I would certainly like to, I hope that they get this guy, they need more, it's volume in the second trial, as far as I'm concerned, for the Reed defense team. Volume, keep them coming, because I really like Rich Green. He seems like a nice guy, but he's too nice. He's too nice. That was Rich Green's problem. He's he's got that Midwestern charm to him, that Hoosier charm. My dad's a Hoosier. That's how they all act in Indiana. Everybody's nice, right? Everybody's too nice. They're too nice. And they just don't. And I don't want to offend you, Mr. Lally. I don't want to upset you. Oh, yeah. That's not quite what happened, but okay. There's just a lot of that with Rich Green. And, he can afford to be a dickhead a little bit more, get snippy, be tough, stand up for yourself a little more. Like, that's where he's got to be. But yeah, he's just a nice guy. I mean, he's like Santa Claus up there, Chris Farley, Santa Claus. All right. Got some cash apps here. Got to bang through. Okay. Liz sends $25, goes, thanks for standing up for what is right. You're very welcome, Liz. I'm happy to do so. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Christy sends $25 and says, no comment. Thank you, Christy. We got Christina sends $5 and goes, for love you. Dumbass Valentinas is in the chat. Is he really? Did Valentinas really show up in the chat? Valentinas, where's my money for the podcast? How much money did that podcast make? By the way, I noticed it's out of the top 200, so it can't be making that much money, but I still want my 40%. And you got, what are we down to? 80 days to pay me? So you better fucking pay me, dude. That's what the contract is. Did that loser really show up? What did he say? What did he say in the chat? I would like to hear what he said. Let's call him right now. I'm going to call him.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 857-630-875 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Yo, Valentinas, what's up, dog? It's Turtleboy calling you back. Heard you were in the chat earlier. I missed you. Just wanted to check in, see what's going on. I hope you're having a happy new year. I noticed that the 34 Fear of You Road podcast isn't doing too good. It's not in the top 200. And I know why that happened, because you fucked up. You didn't do your job as manager. You didn't put your little boyfriend there on a leash. There, Phelpsy there. He wanted to make a Turtleboy bad hit piece. There's no market for that, dude. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Nobody wants to hear Jen McCabe's a nice person and Matt McCabe bought fucking coffee for the garbage man. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Okay. That's loser talk. All right. Winner talk is something called free Karen Reed. So, you cost us all a lot of money. We could have had something special, but you're too, you got to think for your boyfriend there. And I don't know what to tell you. You were too scared to stand up to him. But regardless, I know the podcast bombed, but I still get 40%. There were some ads on there. So I'm going to need to know how many downloads you got, because you're not responding to my lawyer's thing. Like, we're sending you messages and emails, right? And we don't want to go to the next route. You don't want to go to the next route with me. So, hopefully we can figure this out as gentlemen. And, you can just give me my 40% and we move on with our lives, or we do it the fun way. All right. And so whatever you want to do, either way, I'm getting paid. Talk to you soon. Bye. I don't think he's going to call me back. Okay. So yeah, what a loser, huh? What a loser. And by the way, let's just say, so I've hired another lawyer, not for my criminal defense. Let's just say this, for my civil defense. And for the first time, I am going to be a plaintiff in a defamation case. And I've already read the pleading. It's going to be filed in Worcester Superior Court very soon. I'm a plaintiff in a defamation case. I'm not saying who the defendant is yet, because I want them, they'll find out when they are summoned and they get their thing in the mail for this. But just understand, I'm done taking the shit line. I'm done being defamed, period. You will no, I will not allow people to go on social media and say things like Aidan Kearney's a rapist. It's just not going to happen. That's a line that's too far. Okay. And if you do that, I'm going to go through all of everything you've ever said, and I'm going to get all your lies, and I'm going to chronicle them, and I'm going to have a whole fucking archive set up. And that's exactly what I've done. And hundreds of lies from the first defendant, hundreds of lies. Not only that I'm a rapist, but that I'm a drug addict, right? That's the other one they like to say, that I'm a felon, never been convicted of any felonies, nothing. So there's a whole bunch. Now I could spend all day suing people if I wanted to, but we're just going to sue a select few. We're starting with one. We've got a list of 5. Okay. We've got a solid list of 5, and we're starting with one, and a message will be sent. And honestly, I've got damages for sure, but more than anything, if I never get paid a dime I'm going to win. And if I never get paid a dime from any of these losers, that's fine. I'm going to, do my best to get what I'm owed, my compensation. Right. But if I will take the win, and I will take the message that is being sent, that I am not to be trifled with, that you will not lie about me. You will not. And it's costing me money. The lawyer isn't doing this on a contingency, because we're suing broke ass people. You're not going to get shit from broke. I mean, that's the thing, is broke ass people in this country can get away with a lot because nobody wants to sue them, because it's not worth your time, because they're broke and they can't pay you when you win. And so it's but you know what? There comes a time and a place where, I'm making more money than I used to. I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. I'm not putting up with it. And a message needs to be sent that you're not going to call me a rapist. You will not do that. I will not stand for it. I've never raped anyone. I've never been credibly accused of raping anyone. I don't need to rape anyone. Okay? There's a fucking bold-faced lie, and I ain't putting up with that shit. You said a lot of shit. I guess it's hard for me to disprove that I didn't push someone on a couch, right? That never happened either. But how do I disprove that? Well, you could disprove a rape, especially when there's alleged incidents on fucking video. So, just understand that we're fighting back. We're not putting up with this shit any fucking more. And a message is going to be sent. You think that shit's cute? You can get sued too. We ain't fucking around. Anyway, back to this. Back to the cash apps. So yeah, Valentinas. Okay, Judy sends 25 and goes, Happy New Year to you, your family, and to Meredith. Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, Judy. Happy New Year to you as well. Charlie. Okay. She sent me $1 and I said, don't send me $1, but she says, dance, Dr. Daddy. Okay. Thank you very much, Charlie. 7-pounder sends $7 and says, for the truth. Well, thank you very much to 7-pounder. My guy, Steve there. Yeah, let's see. Let me just check over here on the Turtle chat. Dan sends $10, goes, tell Betsy hi, thinks you're hot. Tell Betsy hi, she thinks you're hot. Oh, Betsy thinks I'm hot. Oh, well, thank you, Betsy. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. But thank you, Dan, for the $10. April sends $5 and goes, the fact that the Commonwealth wants to exclude testimony from both experts, and they're going to try the ARCA guys too, mark my word, makes this whole thing seem even shadier. How can you exclude testimony from experts? Blows my mind. P.S. I'm still waiting for you to call Giannetti. I know, aren't we all? And you know what? It's like, how come the defense, like Olivia Lambeau had asking great questions about this. It's like, or what? No, it was Meredith actually that was asking this. It's like, how many times has this happened in Auntie Bev's other cases where nothing would ever get done if every criminal case was like this, where every defense witness has to go through a voir dire that takes forever? Like, are you kidding me? So yeah, it's we'll see. So thank you for that one, April. Auntie Debs Gerbils sends $5 and goes, good luck to our favorite player tonight, Joe Burrow. That's assault. What's up with that game? What's the score? The Bungles the Bungles are up 16-7. Dude, if Cincinnati doesn't get in the playoffs because they lost to the fucking Patriots in week 1, that is brutal. I mean, I think at this point, we both wish we could take that back because we'd be guaranteed the number 1 seed. And then, the Bungles will be, in the playoffs right now. I mean, nobody wants to play the Bengals in the playoffs. Nobody. No, everybody would much rather have the Broncos get in, and everyone and their mother knows that. Joe Burrow is putting up an MVP season, and he has no shot at the MVP because his team's 8-8, period. So they win tonight. Then the Steelers, who are the fakest team I've ever seen, give me a break. Fucking Steelers. I hate them. They win that game. Then who else they got after that? Then they need the Dolphins to lose. They should. I mean, they're playing the Jets, but the Dolphins have Tua is hurt again. What else is new? And then Carson Wentz. They're playing the Chiefs. The Broncos play the Chiefs. They need the Broncos to lose. And Carson Wentz is playing instead of Mahomes. But, people forget Carson Wentz won a Super Bowl. He was the guy most of that season with the Eagles, but I know he's kind of a joke, but still. But yeah, I mean, anyway, so thank you for that one. Terry sends $50 and goes, we are all with you and Karen. God bless you both. Well, thank you, Terry. I appreciate that very much. Tina sends $50. Woo! And goes, "Hi, Aidan. Your positive attitude is contagious. Keep doing what you do. You're truly making a difference. Wishing you a happy new year filled with laughter, love, and all good things, Tina R." Well, thank you very much. I'm glad my positive attitude is contagious. Somebody's got to be positive around here. You know, no time for the negativity. Just positivity. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great year, guys. It's going to be an awesome year. By the end of this year, next year, 2026, I'll be sitting here and Karen Reed will be free. You know, my cases, hopefully you're done. You know, I think, but we got motions to dismiss coming soon. But Krupp's gone. Judge Krupp is gone. Thank God. So we'll finally have a normal judge again. And motions to dismiss are coming soon in my shit. So it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be suing people, winning lawsuits, getting charges dropped. Karen Reed's going to be free. Movie deals. It's going to be fucking dope, man. It's going to be dope. Awesome. Patriots got the number 1 pick in the draft. I love this receiver from Arizona. Tetral. I don't even know how to say his name. Tetrabola. McMillan. T-Mac, we're going to call him. We're going to call him T-Mac. And he's going to be fucking awesome. He looks like Gronk went to Arizona too. Let's not forget that. So good things come out of that school. And he's like a Hawaiian Gronk kind of, except he plays receiver. And he's fast and tall. But don't think about N'Keal Harry. I promise you it's not going to be like N'Keal Harry. It's going to be great. So we're going to trade that pick down, get him in like the 6th pick, and then we'll get another 1st-round pick out of it. We'll draft a big corn-eating left tackle from Iowa or some shit like that, who I've never heard of before, who will be the anchor protecting Drake May's blindside for the next decade. And it's going to be dope. And everyone's going to want to come here now. It's going to be awesome. We'll be back in business. No time. All right. Next up. So that's positive. Jen McCabe's Duck sends $25, goes Krusty Panties. Oh, no, I already read that one. Okay, cool. All right. Anyway, if anyone else wants their message read, you click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me a $ Uncle Turtleboy. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's do this. All right. So we're going to talk about Rich Green tonight. And his whole, we're going to talk about all this shit, how they're trying to get rid of Rich Green. It's 10:15. We're finally starting the content of the show. That's fine. All right, let's pull this up. Nice. We got 4,500 people watching on YouTube. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. We're up to 101,931. We're 69 short of 102,000. Can we do it? Can we get there tonight? Okay. So, all right. Hank Brennan's basic new strategy here, right, is he knows he can't fight Karen Reed fairly because he's going to lose that one. Because she's got really good experts on his side and he doesn't have much to work with. So the only way he can win is to keep all of her experts from testifying, right? Like that's how Hank is trying to play here. He did it with Dr. Marie Russell. And by the way, I probably won't see you guys again before Tuesday. So I hope to see a lot of you guys at the courthouse on Tuesday for round 2 of Dr. Marie Russell's Daubert hearing. Hank's just getting warmed up. He's got more questions for her. I know she'll ace it. She'll do great. She'll kill it like she always does because she's a champ. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there at the beginning of this because I have a restraining order renewal hearing across the street with the fake victim at 9:00 at the same time. So hopefully when that finishes up, then I'll come over. We'll see. Anyway, so this guy is just trying to keep out her experts. And of course he wants to keep out Rich Green because Rich Green is the guy who found this bad boy here that says Jennifer McCabe Googled Hoss line to die in cold and then deleted it at 2:27 and 40 seconds. Now, this ridiculous, comical little thing he calls an opposition here is just It's like trolling. Like, I swear to God, he's like getting his cues from Twitter now. And he called, because you know, on Twitter, they love to say, the trolls love to say, the Google search that's been debunked. That's done. Google 227's over. Anyone saying that is just lying. It's like when they say, oh, Turtleboy doesn't actually believe any of this stuff. They just say whatever. They just say shit. It's been debunked. No, it hasn't been debunked at all. The fact that you're even arguing that it took place in the first place is like that you're trying this hard is suspicious in and of itself, but it certainly hasn't been debunked. But Spanky literally put that in his title there. He says both claims lack any evidentiary support, and these are baseless claims. Baseless. I don't think it's that baseless. This is a Celebrate report, and up until today, Celebrate reports have been used. See, it says Celebrate on it. #1 data extraction software company of police everywhere. That used to matter. But it says it right there. Now, he says it's been unequivocally disproven by Ian Whiffen, who was trying to sell you an app called ArtX. And Whiffen concluded that there was, quote, no evidence that the user tried to delete any search history, or that, except it says right here, yes, deleted. But besides that, maybe a ghost did it. I don't know. Ghosted Higgins. I don't know. But that's what he claims. And they believe he's now saying that the defendant cannot meet its burden to demonstrate that Rich Green is qualified to testify to these two opinions. He's testified in over 2,000 hearings. 2,000 court appearances this guy's testified in. Mr. Green's opinions do not meet the minimum requirements of digital forensics and lack any scientific basis. What? Mr. Green will be unable to provide any facts to support his previous testimony, which has been completely discredited relative to these two issues. Now, as Attorney Bettero says here, a legal position that, quote, our expert is smarter than yours is not a basis to exclude the other party's expert. He just puts everything so succinctly and beautifully. It's just so simple. Like, yeah, like basically they're saying here is our expert is smarter than yours, so yours can't testify. That's not how this works. You let them both testify and then let a jury decide who they believe. That's how it works. They don't want this because they know that if any member of that jury thinks it's possible Jennifer McCabe did that, they can't convict Karen Reed. They would like to fry Jennifer McCabe, if anything, but they certainly can't convict Karen Reed. Now, the way you know this is bullshit more than anything, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, and you can click right on this link in this article, okay? If you click on this link, it says announce there. It brings you to this article from Boston 25 News, okay? Entitled, Prosecutors to see, Boston 25 News needs to get rid of this shit. It takes up half of the page. Half. Okay, let's just play this. Let's just play it out and see what it says.
A court filing May 3rd. 25 investigates with an update to the explosive allegations in the case against a Massachusetts woman accused in the death of Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Now, our team has learned the Norfolk DA is planning to submit a court filing May 3rd to refute Karen Reed's claims. As we first reported, the defense claims cell phone evidence they uncovered points to witnesses in the case. The defense says one witness looked up how long to die in the cold, hours before Officer O'Keefe's body was discovered. But the DA says it's unclear whether her team interpreted that data correctly. Reed was charged with backing over.
Listen to that again. Listen. So this is really important, the timing of this all, right? Really important. April 12th, the defense files Rich Green's affidavit saying that Jennifer McCabe Googled how long to die in cold at 2:27. It makes a couple headlines and a couple media. Not that many people see it. Doesn't really take off. April 17th, Turtleboy gets some free time. Turtleboy starts reading this shit, really looking into it. Turtleboy realizes he's sitting on the story of the century. Turtleboy makes a Facebook post and a Twitter post saying that I got a big story coming out. It appears as if an innocent woman being framed for murdering Boston cop, and it was probably another Boston cop that did it. Holy shit, what a story we got. I'm sitting on here. And this builds public interest in it. April 18th, Turtleboy publishes part 1 of the Canton cover-up story. We're now up to part 462. Okay. But part 1 was the biggest. It gets over 500,000 page views. Okay. So this is quite a big thing. So April 18th, this story was everywhere because of me. Everyone and their mother was talking about this story. Prior to this, the DA's office was just ignoring Karen Reed's legal filings and not really saying much, whatever, because they could, because no one was paying attention. So who cares? But now, all of a sudden, there's a lot of pressure on the DA's office to drop the charges against Karen Reed because of my story. And I put it out there. And how can, dude, she Googled how long to die in cold. Jennifer McCabe did. Like, what the fuck? Like, you can't go through with this, can you? And so what were they going to do? How were they going to handle this? And this is the moment that I knew. This is part 3 of the Can't Cover Up series. This is the moment that I knew that, holy shit, this is a much bigger story than I thought. These people are really corrupt. They're going to keep going.
25
and listen to this. This is how they responded to the Google search.
In the case against a Massachusetts woman accused in the death of Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Now, our team has learned the Norfolk DA is planning to submit a court filing May 3rd to refute Karen Reed's claims. As we first reported, the defense claims cell phone evidence they uncovered points to witnesses in the case. The defense says one witness looked up how long to die in the cold, hours before Officer O'Keefe's body was discovered. But the DA says it's unclear whether her team interpreted that data correctly.
It's again, so they respond to this by saying straight up, let me make this bigger. That prosecutors say they will disprove explosive allegations about the Google search. So riddle me this. How could they be so sure on April 20th, 2023 that they would disprove this? How? They'd never spoken to Jessica Hyde or Ian Whiffen. They didn't know who either of those people were on that day. So how in tarnation could they be so confident after seeing a Cellbrite report that says how long to die in cold at 227? How could they possibly be so confident that they would what? What's the word that they used? Disprove it. How could they be so sure? How? At the very least, shouldn't they have said, we need more time to look into this? Like, shouldn't that have been the appropriate response from the Commonwealth? Is these are very serious allegations that the defense is leveling here against one of our witnesses. We take these allegations very seriously, and we intend in looking into it. If there is any truth to these allegations, we will have to reconsider our plans moving forward. I think that would have been an appropriate response to them saying that, right? Like something like that, to the extent of, like, let's look into this a little bit. Like that would have been bullshit. But at least then we could have looked at that and said, well, okay, they're going to look into this. They're taking it seriously. But instead, we get this thing, and they just say they will disprove it. How did they know they would be able to disprove it? How? How did they know this? How did they know that the conclusion of their investigation would reveal that Rich Green was wrong? How could they know that? How could they possibly be so confident that Rich Green was wrong? How did they know that it would be disproven? How could they know that on April 20th, 2023, before they ever spoke to Ian Whiffen or Jessica Hyde? And the answer to that is that they knew the answer was going to be that Jennifer McCabe didn't Google that at 227. They just had to find somebody to say it. That's it. And there is a reason that it took them 6 months to find Ian Whiffen. They didn't, it was longer than that. I think it was like 8 months, 7 months to find Ian Whiffen. They don't find him till November of 2023. Why did it take 7 months? And I'll tell you why it took 7 months to find a guy in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It's because they were asking around. I guarantee he wasn't their first phone call. How many people, how many forensic experts did they shop this around to? That said, yeah, it happened. We want you to look at this guy's report and see if you think it's true. And I guarantee every single person they asked, they probably asked dozens, if not hundreds of people to look into it. And all they could find was some terrorist looking bitch named Jessica Hyde, an uptalker with a do-rag on her head. Is she going to blow up the World Trade Center? I don't know. But the data, who just loves the sound of her own voice, loves it. Right. And then they find some other guy who used to work at Celebrate, doesn't work there anymore, and wanted to go independent and sell an app, which had one review from him prior to the trial, ArtX. And he used the trial as a way to sell his fucking app. It took them 6 months to find two people, to reach the conclusion that they reached already on April 20th without speaking to either of these people. That's how you know that the fix is in. That's how you know that this is bullshit. Because they didn't go searching for an answer. I mean, they didn't go searching for the truth. They went searching for an answer. That's what they went searching for. That this didn't happen. That's what they went looking for. So there's that. Okay. So that's one way that we know this whole thing's bullshit. Where'd it go? Okay. All right. More on this stupid filing from Spanky. He said that Celebrate, Mr. Green conceded during his testimony that Celebrate modified their software based on his misinterpretation of data from Jennifer McCabe's cell phone. So it's like he admitted this. This is a lie. As we're going to see, Mr. Green does not concede that his testimony is the reason that Celebrate modified their software, that he misinterpreted something, and Celebrate was like, well, let me look into this. Oh, shit. We got the software all wrong. We need to update this because that guy, thank Rich Green for being such a douchebag that we realize we have to get this right. Now, listen to this.
And with regards to this specific issue, as far as how this data is being interpreted from the browser, State TV versus the Knowledge C database and the wall file and all of those P list and all of those other
listen
kinds
to
of
this,
things.
but Adam Lally doesn't know what any of this means. Just listen to him. Listen to this word salad, and neither does anyone on the jury. Listen to this.
And with regards to this specific issue, as far as how this data is being interpreted from the browser, State TV versus the Knowledge C database and the wall file and all of those P list and all of those other kinds of things.
And all those other nobody knows what any of this means, dude. But Rich Green's listening to him like, what? Okay, smile.
Misinterpretation of the data has then caused Mr. Whiffen in further versions of Cellbrite to revise that so that this kind of error can occur.
So Mr. Whiffen, listen to the question. Mr. Whiffen is the guy that got them to
those other kinds of things. As far as the misinterpretation of the data has then caused Mr. Whiffen in further versions of Cellbrite to revise that so that this kind of error can occur.
So Mr. Whiffen himself is the one who decided he didn't like Rich's testimony, so he updated this Cellbrite, and it no longer says that. This is what he claims. Now, this is the real answer Rich Green gives.
Sure, happy to answer that. So Mr. Whiffen's testing was not done with this specific version of the iOS. The iOS has been known to be changing the way this artifact works. To do proper analysis, the researcher that he would need to work with that same iOS. Now, in regards to the Cellbrite question, they have two versions of the Cellbrite Physical Analyzer. One is the standard physical analyzer that's been...
So first of all, he used the wrong version of iOS in his test, which is a problem. And there's two Cellbrite analyzers.
They have two versions of the Cellbrite Physical Analyzer. One is the standard physical analyzer that's been out for several years now, probably is the majority use in the community. It's a tool that takes that raw data and it puts it into human terms that we can look at and understand and write reports like you've been seeing here.
Okay, so that's one version of it, right? Is that the standard analyzer data, whatever it's called, extracts all the data and looks at it, and that's what you're seeing right here. And he's like, cops use this everywhere. This is used everywhere. And there's also another way to do it.
So they have the Cellbrite Physical Analyzer.
Okay.
That's out there. I believe it's 7.68, but don't quote me on that. And then they have a new version that's come out called Insights. And this operates.
So this is a new version. So there's two ways to use it. And there's this new version that's come out called Insights.
More on where you can put multiple cases in and that. It's only the Insight version that they have bothered updating and no longer reporting on that time. Their current physical analyzer program, and I tested this a few days ago, still reports on that search occurring, and that timestamp. So currently,
what Cellbrite currently uses, the industry standard, still says 227. There has been a new kind that's been updated apparently, and Ian Whiffen, when he used the wrong version of iOS, says that it didn't happen at 227. But
Cellbrite is providing examiners, law enforcement, and people worldwide with two different versions, giving two different results. That I can't speak to more than that, other than I've tested that and I see how those programs are working now.
So my question, sir, yes or no, is are you aware that Cellbrite has had to modify their software based on misinterpretation of data, as you've done in this case?
As you've done.
Yes, with Asterisk, they updated one of two programs.
They updated one of two programs. So the ones that they're still using worldwide, that police, law enforcement, everyone is using and presenting in courts, is still the same version that it was used to extract Jennifer McCabe's cell phone data and see that she Googled how long did I encode the 227. So this is just, they always do this. Like he did the same shit with the ARCA experts. He asked them about the shoe, like, because they go, would somebody come out of there? Would somebody lose a shoe if they were hit by a car? Because this guy lost the shoe, and he goes, not in a side swipe. And you guys said he was hit in a side swipe, right? So that wouldn't happen in a side swipe. It's not what I asked you. I asked you if you were hit by a car, could you lose a shoe? Well, yeah, if you were hit in the back, if they hit you, if they plowed over you, sure, you could lose a shoe that way. But that's not what you're saying happened. You said it was a side swipe, and you're stuck with that story now. You're locked into it. He's like, so you're saying it is possible to lose a shoe? It's the same. This is just the same gotcha question. It's like, so you're saying it has been updated? Well, yeah, it has, but you're still using the other. They're still, the police and everyone else is still using the other version, and the other version is still the industry standard, and it still says 227. And that's what I used, and that's what happened. And so there's a new second way to do it, but that was not used. And by the way, Ian Whiffen didn't test out that second version with the correct version of iOS, so we don't know that. So it's just this gotcha nonsense. That's all Lally had, was gotcha nonsense. And the troll's like, oh, see, he had to admit it. Here, and he's too nice. He's way too nice. He's smiling at Lally. He should have been like a dick with Lally. I mean, you'd be like, no, that's not what I said at all. You're wrong. You're wrong. And I hope the ARCA experts are the same way. I hope the ARCA experts had like nothing but disdain for Lally. About like, bitch, I have a fucking PhD. I'm a goddamn crash daddy, motherfucker. I make 10 times what you make a year. All right. And you're going to question me? You think you're going to get me in a gotcha question? Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. All right. So, in other words, Whiffen created his own version of Cellbrite. So he's the one that created Insights, which had updates to the version Green used after being contracted by the Commonwealth to testify on behalf of Jennifer McCabe, because that's what this does. None of this has anything to do with Karen Reed. All of this is just for Jennifer McCabe. Jessica Hyde, a highly qualified forensic expert, conducted an encompassing review of digital artifact file systems and conducted an independent peer-reviewed experiments, peer-reviewed, to determine that her phone was in use at 2:27 when the Safari browser was open and looking for a website for Hockomock Sports. So she couldn't have been doing it because she was looking for it at 2:27, which she was looking up, her kid's basketball team, because that makes tons of sense after a night of drinking. Everybody just goes, let me go check out my kid's sports leagues. Yeah, sure thing. And I hope Brian Walsh, I hope he doesn't, but I'm sure Brian Walsh is probably going to try to use the same defense. I didn't Google. No, I Googled how to chop up a 115-pound body last year. And I just had that fucking tab. I was just curious. I was watching a horror movie and I would kill my wife. No. That was last year I did that shit. And I just had the tab open still. I never closed the tab. So don't you hate that when you just leave your tabs open? And I never closed the tab down. And so it repopulated. See, it's a new version of Celebrate. You wouldn't understand. There's a new version. Ian Whiffen came up with a new version of it. And what you think you see happened, like what you see with your own eyes, how it says 227 right there, it doesn't mean anything. That used to mean something. Now I'll tell you what means something. 624 means something. That one we don't. No. We don't debate the 624 one. That one's legitimate. That one happened as fuck. Except my whole thing is that 624 is just as incriminating as 227. Obviously, we know that Jennifer McCabe Googled how long to die in cold at 227 and realized that was a huge mistake, a huge error. And she's like, fuck, what if they look at my phone? And realized, okay, probably shouldn't have done that. Let's go delete that. That makes sense. That is the most logical thing. That if you people fuck up. She fucked up. She tries to cover her tracks, deletes it. Right? But she knows that they're probably gonna ask for my phone because I was there. I invited John over that night, and it's gonna be a problem if they want my phone. So what can I do? Well, they're gonna find that search. So we better have a good excuse for it. If they're gonna know, they're gonna know that he came inside the house if they see the 227 search. But if I search it at 624, if I search it after I find the body or after I learn, even if Karen Reed doesn't pick her up and bring her there, she's still gonna search it. She's gonna be like, oh, I saw it, I heard about it. So I was concerned. I'm like, well, he couldn't have been out there that long. So I Googled how long to die in cold. It actually probably would have been a better story for Jennifer McCabe if Karen Reed didn't pick her up and bring her there and go with her there, because it makes less sense for her to Google how long to die in cold when she's at the scene than it would be if she was at her house. Like if she got alerted to it and somebody texted her and said, shit, John's body was found on Brian Albert's front lawn. Fuck. How long was he there for? And she's sitting in the comfort of her own phone and she just Googles how long. Oh, fuck. I wonder how long you could survive out there for. Because I'm in my own home. How long to die in cold? That would make sense a little bit. But doing it at the scene, that makes no sense. Because it's chaos. You're in the heat of it. You're just going to start Googling shit. There's paramedics everywhere. You can't ask one of them how long it takes to die in cold. You have to ask Jeeves. Like what? And coincidentally, you spelt it the same exact wrong way that you did at 227. And at 623, you attempted to Google it the wrong way. Except it came out gobbledygooked. Was it Haas long tick die and kicked or something like that? Some weird way. And she's like, no, that's not right. It's Haas long to die in cold. So we got to go back and do it again at 624. That's why she did the 623. She spelt it the wrong way. And then 624, she's like spelt it the wrong way, the right way. It makes perfect sense why she would do it if she was covered. The 624 search makes perfect sense if she's trying to hide the 227 search. The 624 search makes no sense if she didn't do the 227 search. That makes no sense in that. 624 only makes sense if 227 happened. It makes no sense at all if it didn't happen, because like I said, you wouldn't be doing it like the paramedics around and in the heat of it. You're not going to do that. But also the testimony is going to prove that 624 didn't happen. Hold on one second. I got to turn the heat down. It's fucking hot as a motherfucker in here. Hold on. All right, we're back. All right, back in business. Anyway. So in the original extraction report, here's the problem. Who did the extraction report first before Jessica Hyde and Ian Whiffen were around? That would be Nicholas Garino. All right. The guy that couldn't find 32,709 deleted text messages from Matthew Farwell to Sandra Birchmore, all of which directly proved that he was involved in raping and impregnating and murdering Sandra Birchmore. All of that. Like, couldn't find any of those because they were deleted. So he's the guy, and he touched my phone too. He touched the fake victim's phone too. And there's a whole bunch of messages deleted from that. Okay. Anyway, so Garino hands over the phone at searches over the phone of Jennifer McCabe, gives the extraction to the defense. Guess what's not in there? Oh, right, the 624 search. 227's obviously not in there, but 624 is not in there either, and neither is 623. And there are nothing comes up as deleted. He uses Cellbrite too, and none of this shit comes up. None of it. Why? Why did none of these Google searches, none of this shit was handed over to the defense? They had to hire their own expert who found all this shit. What a coincidence. All right. And it doesn't make any sense, like I said, to Google that at 624. But the big story about why did she Google how long to die in cold at 624? Here's another thing I don't understand. If I'm Jen McCabe, why didn't she just say she did it on her own? Why does she need to throw in the part that Karen Reed told her to Google how long to die in cold at 624? Why can't she just do it? Like, why did she need to say that Karen told me to do it? I think it's because it's not believable that you just do. Like, it's just like you're in the heat of the moment. You're going to Google that. Well, Karen told me to do it. And that's what it says in every report, is that Jen also stated that while her and Karen were in the back of the car, Karen was yelling and screaming one moment and then completely calm the next. Jen said that they prayed the Our Father. And for the record, Karen Reed's never testified, but I will tell you that I've spoken to her and she says that's bullshit. That never happened. This whole Our Father bullshit. The period bullshit, that she said that did happen. A lot of people are like, that shit's fake. She's like, I actually did say that. So I'm telling you right now. Right. But the whole thing about Our Father and Google how long did I go, none of that happened at all. None of it happened. But so it says here, Karen was yelling and screaming. And then Karen immediately yelled at Jen 2 times to Google, how long do you have to be left outside to die from hypothermia? So, again, she is saying, and this is critical, that at 6:24, she and Karen Reed are in the back of a car, sitting in a car together. It doesn't even say what car. It says they're sitting in the back of some cop car at 6:24. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a lie. She said it's, and we're going to prove it's a lie. Listen to this. And this is thanks to Olivia Lambo and a buttload of other internet sleuths that put this all together. Here we go.
We were in the back of the police cruiser. Karen was sitting in there. I kind of scooched myself in. Miss Roberts came over. Karen grabbed our hands. She asked us to pray. She looked at her hands and she had blood. She asked us if she could have gotten her period. We told her no, that was John's blood. Then she said, what if he's dead? Promise me you'll take care of the kids. Someone's going to take care of the kids. Then we prayed. Then at the end, they were moving John.
They were moving John. They were moving John, the paramedics, into the ambulance. They were moving John. I am in the back of a police car while they are moving John. Remember that. That's very important. And it is then at that moment that Karen Reed does what?
Karen told Kerry, go over, look, is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? Over and over. And Kerry said, I'll go over and check on him. And she was yelling, are they working on him? And then at that point, she grabbed my hands and she said, Google hypothermia, Google how long it takes to die in the cold. And so I had my phone out and it was cold and my hands were frozen and I have MS and I took my phone out while she was screaming and shaking my arm. And I attempted to Google how long does it take to die in the cold.
And when you conducted that search, that was at the defendant's request on scene sometime after 6 a.m. on that day, correct?
Yes.
You recall whether or not that came up as far as your search in Google? Is it something that you typed once or more than once? If you
I believe I did it multiple times because as I was typing it, I don't know what else was coming up. She was screaming.
Oh, yeah. Chaos.
My hands were shaking.
Shaking. Oh, yeah.
And do you recall anything as far as what the search results were, or did you click on anything?
Okay.
Or did you get an answer to the question the defendant had posed to you?
I don't even think I got an answer because as I kept Googling and she kept yelling and then they were moving John. And the next thing I knew, we were kind of moving because she wanted to see if they were working on him.
And the next thing she was moving because she wanted to see if they were working on him.
And so you were moving.
So this is, remember, they're still around. John's she's saying that at 6:23, she's in the back of a squad car sitting directly next to Karen Reed and holding her hand while they are working on John in front, like outside the car, moving him to the ambulance. And she wants to get out and see how they're doing after asking Jen McCabe to
along
Google
with the defendant over towards where Mr. O'Keefe had gone to the back of the ambulance.
Yes, we kind of just moved to see what was going on.
When you moved over, what did you see then?
They were just putting him in the back of the ambulance.
They were putting him in the back of the ambulance. He was not in the ambulance net. They were putting him in the back of the ambulance at 6:24 a.m. right after Karen Reed told her to Google how long to die in cold. Putting him in the back of the ambulance. That's the story.
Now, after Mr. O'Keefe was put into the...
So, let's check out the friggin', let's check out the dash cam, because we got dash cam. So, This is from Saraph's dash cam video at 6. Oh, shit.
In the back of the police cruiser, Karen was sitting in there. I kind of scooched myself in. At that point, she grabbed my hands and she said, Google hypothermia, Google how long it takes to die.
So no, apologize. So here is the dash cam from Saraph's vehicle at 6:13. Oh, okay. So 6:14, it's being gurneyed in. So Good is on his way. Good's not there yet. Okay. The gurney. There's Karen Reed. Next to her is Jennifer McCabe. Remember, we've seen this before. She tries to comfort Karen. Karen tells her to go away. John is on the gurney right there. Okay. Here comes that fat piece of shit Saraf. Waddles over there like the fucking lardo he is. Jen's talking to him, doing this whole thing. Emotions. This, that, blah, blah, blah. Karen's crying, looking at John, and they wheel the gurney past Jennifer McCabe, and she turns her back. She turns her back on him. Okay. This is at 6:14 and 55 seconds. 6:14 and 55 seconds. Yet she claims that she was inside a police vehicle when this happened. And Karen Reed was telling her to Google how long to die in cold. And oh yeah, the time was 6:24, not 6:14. This video proves that Jennifer McCabe lied. Jennifer McCabe lied. She was not in the back of a police car when John O'Keefe was being wheeled out. That did not happen. But like, here's this timeline put together by my girl Sleuthy Goosey on the Twitter machine. 6:14, ambulance arrives. And it says, like, how do we know that? Flamati's direct. 6:14 and 29, he's placed on the stretcher. 6:15, paramedics arrive at the patient's side. 6:15 and 30 seconds, he is inside the ambulance with the doors closed. So Jennifer McCabe's testimony about seeing him being wheeled in after 6:24 is a fucking lie. It is a provable lie. Good does not get there until 6:16. Okay. At 6:24 is when she makes that Google search. Okay. So she does have one thing wrong in her timeline here. It says that Jen bursts into Nicole and Brian's bedroom to tell them what happened between 6 and 6:30. The dash cam footage shows her going in there at 6:34. So 6:30. She doesn't even go in till 6:34. It's like the damnedest thing. The ambulance leaves at 6:27, and like, what? It doesn't make any sense at all. Done. Also disputing this is Officer Mullaney. Let's listen to what he says happened. He gets there at 6:11.
At one point, you saw Karen Reed being escorted into a motor vehicle.
Yes.
And that was one of the women on scene, her motor vehicle?
Yes, it was either that or a cruiser.
All right.
Both kind of the same area.
But you'll agree with me, at no point in time did you see Karen Reed and Jennifer McCabe in a vehicle together?
Not that I recall, no.
They were never in a car together. Well, what does Good say? What does Good have to say about this? Well, and by the way, this is what audio sounds like. So if he's in Good's car, this is where Good admits that Karen Reed was in her car. The only squad car that Karen Reed ever sat in was Good. Good does not get there until 6:16 after John is put inside the ambulance. So if they were watching John being wheeled inside an ambulance, they couldn't have been in Good's car because he was already in by the time Good got there. This is Saraf. Listen to how good the audio is. This is Saraf's dash cam and what it catches.
Exam either. I'm going to do the best I can to raise the volume. And Officer Sheriff, I want to focus your attention, if you wouldn't mind, on 9 seconds after you say what happened. Just count in your head and listen very, very carefully to the woman's voice that responds to what she says. Go ahead.
So you can hear audio. You hear people screaming in the background there, talking. Imagine what a dash cam could pick up inside a vehicle. If Karen Reed was sitting in the back of, with Jennifer McCabe in the back of Goody's car, you would 1000% have been caught doing that on video, but they don't have that, of course. Now, this is Goody. Goody is a scumbag, okay? Goody has every reason to cover for the McAlberts. He graduated high school with Courtney Proctor and Jill Daniels in the class of 1998 at Canton High School. He's a townie diehard through and through, right? He's a douchebag. He's Goody, right? And he is going to tell you about his experience with Karen Reed after he arrives there at 6:16.
And Ms. Reed, after you had that brief conversation with her back, where did you go? Where did she go?
I believe she, at some point, we let her back out outside the car. We never closed the door on her because I stood in the door frame with my head in the back seat. She got out. She kind of just did her own thing, paced up and back between talking to either Ms. Roberts or Ms. McCabe, yelling out.
At some point, the ambulance of Ms. O'Keefe was into that leading scene.
It did.
And following that, what, if anything, did you say or do with reference to the defamation?
Once the Officer O'Keefe was transported, Ms. Reed just was not listening to any directions. We were trying to keep her in Ms. Roberts' car to stay warm. She's going back and forth. I finally told Ms. Roberts, we have everybody's information. She's not needed here anymore. Go home, get warm. We'll reach out if we have to.
And
so again, listen to this. So again, this is when he's talking about. So at 6:16, he arrives there. All right. Karen Reed is running around like a crazy person, hysterical. John is in the ambulance. So she's just getting in the way and, oh my God, is he dead? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. Screaming. None of which, luckily, none of this awakes Brian Albert, who is in his middle of his winter hibernation, just tuckered away, not waking up to any of this. Nicole Albert doesn't wake up to any of it. The gay autistic son there, Brian Albert Jr., he is not awoken to any of this. And the fucking dog, the dog that's alerted to everything and just chews people up if they walk by, her house. That dog doesn't wake up or bark for any of this. Nobody is wiser to any of this. So Karen Reed's running around like a fucking lunatic outside, and Brian Albert's 30 feet away and has no clue any of this is going on at all. Because that motherfucker's, he just fucked the shit out of his wife. Literally fucked her brains out. Fucked her so hard that he had a 22-second phone call with Brian Higgins that he doesn't remember because he fucked her so hard. So he was resting. He was resting that. I mean, he's an old guy. He's 50-something years old. He can't fuck like he used to. Can't do it. He's passed out. So luckily, Goody was there, and this is what Goody sees.
And Ms. Reed, after you had that brief conversation with her back, where did you go?
After you had that brief conversation with Miss Reed in the back of the cruiser. So he put Reed into the cruiser, has a conversation with her, but she is acting wild. It's just not, she's trying to tame her. And it's like, bro, he's trying to put her in the car because she's acting too crazy. All right. And she's all fired up and she's running around with her fucking yoga pants on and, underdressed and is just running on pure adrenaline. And he's like, let's put this bitch in the car, calm her down. So he puts her in the car. She's not calming down. She's acting crazy. And so he doesn't mention anything about Jennifer McCabe being in this car at the same time, does he?
She go.
I believe she, at some point, we let her back out outside the car. We never closed the door on her because I stood in the door frame with my head.
We never closed the door on her. So he puts her in the car and keeps the door open and puts his head in the back of the vehicle.
In the backseat. She got out. She kind of just did her own thing.
And she got out.
Back between talking to either.
So she was like a caged animal that couldn't be caged. He puts her in the back of a car. He's got the door open. You all right there, bitch? Everything okay? No, bitch, I'm fucking, my boyfriend's dead. What the fuck? I'm not going to get here. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And just wants to get outside and run around some more. And so he's like, this is not working out. He lets her go. She runs around like a caged animal. And they're like, fucking put her in Kerry Roberts' car. Get her the fuck out of here. He tells her, like, get her out of here. Right?
Miss Roberts or Miss McCabe yelling out.
At some point in the end of Miss Officer O'Keefe was into that lead scene.
It did.
And following that, what, if anything, did you say or do with reference to the defendant?
Once the Officer O'Keefe was transported, Miss Reed just was not listening to any directions. We were trying to keep her in Miss Roberts' car to stay warm. She's going back and forth. I finally told Miss Roberts, we have everybody's information. She's not needed here anymore. Go home, get warm. We'll reach out if we have to.
After she just allegedly confessed to like everyone and their mother who was standing there about murdering somebody and saying, I hit him. And then he's like, you know what? Just get the fuck out of here. We'll give you a call later. We'll give you a call if we need you. It's a dead cop here, but we'll figure it out later. You know, not like, hold on, miss. Did you drop this motherfucker off? Did you run him over? Like that never happened. Because, oh yeah, he didn't find any taillight and neither did anyone else. Until 12 hours later, when Brian Tully told unknown members of the CERT team, look right there and see if we find anything. Oh shit, it's fucking taillight. Oh fuck, that's crazy. So that's how that happens. Now, she also called Brian Albert at 6:23, which, I mean, that exact time so she calls Brian, he doesn't answer, and then she Googles that. Well, that doesn't make any sense. That also proves she's lying. Because if she Googled Haas long to die in cold at 6:23 and 50 seconds, what did she say she did right before that? Our Father, right? That's a fucking quick Our Father. Because she calls Brian up at 6:23 and 0 seconds. You got like 30 seconds worth of nothing, right? No answer. Then she does Micro Machines Our Father. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, will be done. Don't live our trespasses. So she does it so fucking fast, like the fastest Our Father ever. Because she calls Brian, it rings for 30 seconds. He doesn't pick up, and then now it's 6:23 and 30 seconds. Then the Our Father happens, in which she's alone in a police car with Karen. That never happened. And then at 6:23 and 50 seconds, that's when she Googles Haas long to die in cold. These people are fucking liars. You know why they're liars? Oh yeah, because they're murderers. And I'll tell you one thing. I don't put up with people. You're going to see there's going to be some lawsuits coming. I don't put up with people who call me rapists and accuse me of committing crimes I had nothing to do with that I can prove I didn't. But yet I'm calling all these people murderers because that's what they fucking are. They're murderers, and none of them sue me. I'm sitting here waiting to get a fucking lawsuit in the mail, waiting for it. Never comes. Oh, they're gonna get him. What are you waiting for? What the fuck you waiting for? You can sue me whenever you want, but you're not going to because I'm too fucking good. I'm right. And you know I'm going to go through everything like this shit that you calling Brian Albert at 6:23 and he doesn't pick up. And we know that took 30 seconds. And we know that you said the Our Father. That's what you claim you said before you did the Google search. But the Google search happened at 6:23 and 50 seconds, which means you did the fastest Our Father in the history of the fucking world. What the fuck? Fuck you lying about? Yeah, how's that? That's why you're not going to sue me. Because I will fucking destroy you in court. You think Alan Jackson made you pay? Bitch, you've been protected this whole time. You will not be protected if you were the plaintiff in a defamation lawsuit. So bring it. I want you to sue me. I've been begging you to sue me. I get fucking hard at the idea of Jennifer McCabe suing me. You understand how hard that makes me? Uncontrollable. Like, see a doctor if it lasts for more than 4 hours kind of shit. Okay? Sue me. I'm begging you to fucking sue me. Please. What are you waiting for? But they don't. Because they know I got them. Because they know I'm right. All right. So anyway, this whole thing about debunked opinions and blah, blah, blah. Okay. And by the way, can we just talk about this whole thing here that got lost in the mud too? Listen to this.
Data cache is known to only be present on the phone for a couple of weeks. Now, what I don't know, and Mr. Lally, if I'm going too far, just please stop me. What I don't know is what measures were taken to preserve that data, whether it was put in airplane mode, whether the location services were turned off, whether it was put in a Faraday bag. And quite frankly, Mr. Lally, I don't know if they did all that, if the location data would have remained or not. I've never tested that, but all indications it would have had location data on the day that it was seized, because we received the Apple map tile. But when I got the full extraction, there was no location data there. Now, I did observe.
No, there was no GPS location data on the defendant's phone, correct?
Correct.
From what you observed.
And again, if I'm, I did find deleted location data from April of 2022.
He just never visits that again. Karen Reed's phone had no deleted data at all. None of the messages, calls were deleted. But what was deleted, he found, in April of 2022 is her GPS location. Are you fucking kidding me? That's also the same month that Michael Proctor was texting his buddies, telling them, oh yeah, I'm looking through his retarded client's phone right now. Having some fun with this thing. Why is her GPS deleted at 6 in April of 2022? Why would they delete that? Like, that was kind of an oopsie on what's his name's fault, on Lally's fault. Like, oh shit, didn't want that coming out, that they deleted the GPS. Why would they? So you're telling me that we could have been tracking Karen Reed's location the entire time? Are you fucking kidding me? What? That's wild. And then he thinks he's wicked smart because he includes this part here about how he's got Gretchen Voss's testimony. Remember, he won this in a motion, his first winning motion. And he gets this and he's like, the defendant herself has engaged in promoting this false narrative. And then he cites Gretchen Voss's notes in which she says, and it happened, the Google search, at the same time as the basketball search, which also wasn't in the report, nor was the how long to die at 6:23 that she admitted to. There was no Google activity in the Cellbrite report that was handed over to us as gospel. So I don't know what Hanky thinks this means. This means that she told Gretchen Voss the truth, that when Nicholas Garino handed them the cell phone extraction, it didn't mention anything about any Google searches. 624, 623, 227, none of them. It's just a fact. And oh yeah, a Quantico trained specialist from the FBI had something to say as well.
But now a Quantico trained special agent with the FBI's Regional Computer Forensic Lab. In other words, the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation also specifically confirms that that search was made on Jennifer McCabe's phone, and it was made on or before 2:27 and 40 seconds a.m. on January 29th, 2022. That fact, Your Honor, is no longer open for debate.
What we have is, yes, what counsel mentions is there is one expert who was given 2 extractions, presumably provided by defense counsel, that indicates from that particular FBI expert that the searches were done at 2-something in the morning.
Oh, so even Lally admits it there. How about that? Now that Quantico train, that the FBI, because there's no federal investigation that the jury can know about, that Auntie Bev wouldn't let that person testify. So she needs more. She needs more. She thought Rich Green was enough, and it's like, okay, they want to fuck, we can fuck. We got experts too. I guarantee you, give this report, the same report, to anyone, any other digital forensic expert not named Ian Whiffen. Give it to one of the fucking hundreds of people they probably shopped this around to before they settled on Ian Whiffen and Jessica Hyde, because I guarantee they were not their first choices. And then have them do it. Bring them all in, man. Bring 50 fucking experts in. We'll pay for it. We got your back. We got Karen's back. We'll pay for it. Let's do it. Let's fuck. Let's go. So yeah. Okay. And we'll listen to some more testimony momentarily. Let me just read some turtle chats first, shall we? Because my phone's blowing up with these. Okay. Hanky on a classic men's Speedo sends $5 and goes, For the defense, don't let hanky stanky second guess your professional background and experience while being on the stand. Fuck them. Let's review the original 911 call. Thank you, Turtleboy. All right, appreciate that, Hanky. Talon sends $10 and goes, they're trying to say Jen's Google search at 227 didn't happen and happened at 624 by opening the same tab. But wouldn't her first Google search at 623 be the reason they are saying caused the 227 search? That's such a good point. Yeah, that's such a good point. Well, unless they're saying that, okay, that's such a good point. So they're saying that she opened a tab at 623 that she used at 227 to search for Hakamak, whatever. Okay. But she didn't Google how long to die in cold at 623. She Googled how licking to whatever at 623. Yeah, that's such a good point. And then at 624, are they saying? It sounds like they're saying. So Jennifer McCabe goes on the tab and Googles Hakamak ozone basketball at 227. Goes to sleep. Wakes up, goes and finds John's dead body, and then opens the tab up. But not the ozone Hakamak tab. It has to be another tab, right? It has to be the Hakalang dick and cold, whatever that one. Spells it wrong. X's that one out. And then uses the other tab to Google Hoss long to die in cold, right? Because that's what they're saying. I mean, it's more unbelievable. The more they get into this lie, the more unbelievable it is. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's such a good point. Thank you, Tina. No, thank you, Talon. Tina sends $5 and goes, did you see what TM just posted about you? I don't believe it. I think it's been taken out of context. Who the fuck is TM? And why would I see anything? Who's TM? Anyone know? What's a TM? Who's TM? Anyway, no, I don't know who TM is. You got if you say something like that, you can't just assume I know who the fuck TM is. Especially, it's like, does anyone out there know what a TM is? I don't believe, out of context. Tina, a troll. What's a troll? Oh, someone in the chat. Oh, okay. I don't fucking know what they said. No. So anyway, thank you for that. $100 from Kathleen. Woo! Thank you, Kathleen. And Kathleen says, Dr. Turtleboy, you have brought this case to the forefront, and kudos to you for that. The Norfolk County DA's office is trying to block you, Karen Reed, and Karen Reed's attorneys, all citizens with the brain, to ignore all the evidence and lack thereof due to shoddy investigations to convict a framed innocent woman. They are hiding something. Thank you for all you do. Free Karen Reed. Well, my pleasure, Kathleen. And everything you just said is 100% correct. And it is just everyone with the brain watching this knows what happened. And it's just about proving it to a jury and not letting them confuse the fuck out of them. That was clearly, we underestimated the confuse the fuck out of them effect on this, as far as just getting up there and having a 10-week trial and just confusing the fuck out of them and being like Ian Whiffen and what if any a million times, boring the fuck out of the jury, freaking data from the freaking car doesn't make any sense about key cycles. Like, it's all just meant to confuse a million witnesses whose testimony all contradicts each other. But what does it matter if the fucking the Lexus data says that she went 24 miles an hour? Like, it's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. So thank you very much, Kathleen. Jana sends $25 and goes, I think Hank is filing these laughable motions just to keep the O'Keefe's morale up. You've said it in the past how if they were on Karen's side, then it would be over for the McAlberts, which is true. Anyway, keep up the good fight. You're the best. Yeah, and not just the O'Keefe's morale up, but like, Brendan Kane and some of these other goofball idiots that sit with them in court and make fools of themselves. Carl Dougal. And like, it's just to convince them, like, see, we're still fighting. We got something. Like, bro, she ain't never going to be convicted. So calm your tits with that one. All right. Thank you. Candace sends $10 and goes, clearly our cheers to the long peace and prosperity sprinkled with vindication and justice. Texas loves you, Turtleboy. Well, thank you very much, Candace. I love Texas too. Paulie G. Gianetti sends $10 and goes, it's insulting to the other side. It's insulting that the other side makes John out to be a beta bitch who couldn't tell Karen to get lost if he wanted to. He made $200,000 a year, had a better house than Karen or close. He could afford a babysitter, pay for a chick on the back page of Craigslist, and still get pussy on the side. He was a ladies' man. He would never be trapped. I don't think you understand because you suck dick. You ain't a ladies' man. That is such a good point. Paulie G. Gianetti, God bless you. What an awesome turn. That is so true. How they try to infantilize and make a bitch out of John. Like John O'Keefe, like, didn't need Karen Reed. She didn't pay him rent. She had her own house. I mean, think how much money they were wasting, those two. They didn't live. They could have saved so much money if they lived together. But they didn't live together. And you know why they didn't live together? Because they weren't that serious. At the end of the day, like, they had a nice little relationship going. Kind of ideal. You know, I mean, John got a great deal out of it. He got Karen Reed's she's a smoke. Like, let's be honest. You know, she got it going on. And, you know, had a really nice car. And was willing to drive the kids around and help them out and do a lot of the shit he didn't have time to do. He was making good money. Like you said, probably $150,000, $200,000 a year, probably he's making, not entirely sure. Babysitter whenever he needs one. Fucking dude, had it made with their relationship. And I assume he was still getting some sort of payments from the dead parents, right? I mean, there must have been something there. He had it made, right? And like, he was a looker too. He's tall. You know how many guys want to be 6'2" and, you know, look like John O'Keefe? Like, John O'Keefe had it made. John O'Keefe could have had so much pussy. And he did, you know, prior to Karen, like all these other crazy bitches come. Every woman John dated is a smoke. Some of them were so addicted to the dick, like Tara Kerrigan, that 20 years later, they're still holding pictures like Lost at Sea. Like, John O'Keefe is not the kind of guy who's going to be like, oh, I want to end things with her, but I can't. Oh, she just won't go away. I can't get rid of her. No, he liked the situation. It was a good situation for him. Karen Reed was not like most women. Like, most women in that situation would be, bitch, I'm 39. I ain't getting any younger. I got no kids. Give me a kid. I can have a baby at 40. Give me a kid. I want a kid. I want to get married. I want this and that. I want to move in together. I want 2 years. That's a long time. 2 years he was dating her, and she wasn't pushing him at all to move in together, to get married, to have a kid. What fucking guy doesn't want that? Like, every guy in America, like, if it wasn't for women, we would never get married. Let's be honest, guys. Like, that's the truth. Guys get married because women exist. And that's why I don't understand the gays. Like, you guys had an awesome thing forever. You couldn't get married. And then you're like, we want to get married too. Why the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Stop being chicks. Okay. Every guy knows that. Like, so John has this rare situation where he's with the woman, and shut up, Suzanne, it's true. Okay. It's 100% true. You're wrong. I'm right. Okay. And I love you, but you're wrong about this one. So, like, he's got the situation where he's got a good looking woman who makes a bunch of money, has a nice car, was willing to play the babysitter, right? Do all that shit. And somehow, after 2 years of being in a relationship, is not pushing for him to get married or have kids. Okay. Why the fuck would he want to end that? What the fuck is wrong with you people? No, why the hell would he want to end that? they were going to ride this out for a while. Okay. They were going to ride this out for a while until they both looked at each other and were like, yeah, let's just go our separate ways. Like, that's how that was going to end. They were never going to get married, whatever. That's it. They were just, having a good time. That's all they were doing. Period. They were just having a good time. So that's a fact. That's a really insightful comment there. Paulie G, Gianetti. Exactly. He would never be trapped. Exactly. Thank you. Nikki sends $20 and goes, you are a stand-up man. Most cannot pass the test of scrutiny, which you've been through. Well, I appreciate that. The amount of time that's passed without your character flying is inspiring. To your attackers, karma is real. Well, I appreciate that, Nikki. It's very kind of you. And I'm seeing all the women in the comments. So, like, a bunch of us ladies don't want to get married. Okay. You say that. Maybe. Okay. Maybe I was wrong. Not all women want that. But you're in the minority. Let's just put it that way. I feel like most women do want to get married. I think most women want to get married. And do you guys agree with that statement that most women want to get married? Like, you're in the minority. I think if you're like, well, fuck it, I'm good when I get married. I think most women want to get married. And there you go. Marriage is for kids and insurance, or both. And to get a nicer house. There's a whole bunch of benefits to getting married legally and financially, but I mean, every girl grows up, thinks about like her wedding day and shit like that. Guys don't grow up thinking about that, so let's pull it up. Yeah. Let's do a poll. Okay. All right. Start a poll. It's going to be, okay. Do most women want to get married? That's this question. All right. I just put a poll up. Do most women want to get married? Okay. So far, we have 250 votes and 72% say yes. Okay. All right. So that's, so maybe I was like, that's a lot are saying yes, most, but I will give you that. You're getting a good chunk of the population here, 30% of the people, I guess, who are saying no, they don't want. And you're the Beyonce type. You know what I mean? You're the strong, independent. I don't need no man. I can do my own thing. Fuck it all. Me against the world. Me and my cats versus everyone kind of thing. We get it. That's fine. I think that's great. It's awesome, but I think most men are voting yes on this one, because it's true. I mean, it's like, yeah, some guys would get married, but it's like, definitely it's a thing that I feel like there's a lot of pressure to get married. I don't know, but all right. Anyway, we're spending too much time on this. So what's the poll up to now? 70%. Okay, we're stuck on that. All right, cool. Thank you. All right. David sends $25 and goes, why is it anytime you watch Forensic Files for the first 48, when a Google search is made from any device, there is never a question on what time it was made. It is just what it is, and it is clearly shown when it was searched. I've never seen that questioned. I think I've watched every episode. By the way, we are Eskimo brothers. What's an Eskimo brother? But yeah, it's so true, David. I've just never heard of this before. Thank you very much. Laura sends $5 and goes, Richard Green was too polite when he said, sorry if I distressed you to Lally about data that had been updated since Richard Green's report. Why am I blocked on YouTube? I support you always. I didn't block you, Laura. I don't have time to block anyone. Laura Riker is her last name, Reicher. If the mods could unblock her, if she's blocked, that would be great. Or maybe it's a misunderstanding. Maybe you're not blocked. I don't know. But hopefully we get that fixed up. And they always point out, oh, he apologized. It's like, no, he's just saying sorry if I caused you any distress. He was way too nice. They need a mean guy. Krusty's hubcap Rosario sends $10 and says, can't wait until the FBI does a huge sweep in Canton. They're all going down. Hashtag free Karen Reed. Yeah, you and I both. Thank you. Brittany sends $5 and goes, obviously the best thing that can happen that the FBI agent testifies, but if not, Massachusetts has MIT and Harvard. The defense needs to consider that if a professor from one of them can testify. So true. But they got to pay for it. You know, they got to find someone, they got to pay for it. But again, we got your back, Karen Reed, Alan Jackson. Don't worry about the money. We'll figure that out later. Just get fucking experts. We'll pay for this shit because we're invested in it too. Fuck that shit. Like, you know why the Patriots are so like, or any franchise is so successful? You know why they can pay their players millions of dollars? Because we'll pay for that shit. Fuck yeah. We'll buy your overpriced tickets. We'll buy your merchandise because we got your back. We're going all the way this year. Look, we're invested in your victory, Karen Reed. We are. All of us are here. We're wicked invested in your victory. Money ain't no thing. We got money. We got money. We will pay for all your fucking witnesses. Taken care of. Just get them lined up. We'll figure out the cost later. Just get them lined up. Anyway. What's the fuck's an Eskimo brother? I got to see what an Eskimo brother is. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, good. Okay. That's all right. All right. We'll leave it at that. So, yeah, who is that? Oh, God. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. For your sake. Well, he's not in jail. So that eliminates one person, right? That we can knock off the list, I think. Okay. All right. All right. Back to this. Katiana sends $10 and goes, Spanky is the Lulu. Keep up the good work, Doc. Free Karen Reed, Turtleboy rules. So thank you. Okay. Chris No Name sends $5 and says, Jen likes it in the butt. Okay. I bet she might. There's anything wrong with that, but she might. I think there's a good possibility. And then the Cash App we have here. Holly sends $5 and says, yeah. Well, let's see. Meredith rocks, she says. Thank you very much, Holly. Appreciate that. Candace sends $5 and goes, is there dash cam footage of Jen McCabe at 624? Apparently not. Apparently not, Candace. Thank you. Melanie sends $5 and says, no one has ever Googled anything by opening up a tab. I know. That's literally never happened. Never happened. Kimberly sends $10, no comment. Lisa sends $15, no comment. Okay. Charlie sends $15 for no comment. Chad sends $10 and goes, E. Walsh accidentally blocked me. No problem. So accidentally. Thank you, Chad. 25 from Elizabeth says, thank you for standing up to what is right. Actually, I think I read that one earlier. Okay, cool. All right. If anyone else wants their messages read out loud to the class, you can click at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtle Boy. Okay. You know who else lied? Kerry Roberts. Everybody always say, oh, Kerry, and they need to cross-examine her because she lied too. Kerry Roberts' whole story about, remember she said Karen told her at 5 o'clock? Karen told me that John was hit by a car, that John was dead at 5 o'clock. What? She told you that? So let me get this straight. Karen Reed calls you and tells you that she killed John. He's dead. And the first thing you did is said, let's go back to John's house and see if he jumps out of the closet and says, surprise, motherfucker. What? That makes no sense. And then Karen Reed confessed to running him over to you. And then when you went, you're in the driver's seat going there. and you don't see his body, even though she told you his body's going to be right there because I ran him over? That makes no sense. I don't understand why they didn't cross-examine her. Because she came across with the crying, like she actually cared about him, and I think deep down inside she actually does. I think, and as you're going to see, more shit's going to come out about Kerry Roberts too. Okay. Kerry Roberts is a lot more involved in this than people realize. She isn't. And she's a chatterbox. She is a chatterbox. Let me tell you, Kerry, I know what you did. I know what you did. I know everything. Let's just put it, and it's all going to come out, Kerry. It's all going to come out. I know everything you did. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going to tell people like, do tell. No, I don't show my cards anymore. I don't do that. I hold on to my cards. And I know what you did, Kerry Roberts. I know it all. I know you're watching right now, or if not, you're going to watch it on a replay. Just know that I know, and I'm not telling them. All the people watching right now, how many people are watching right now? 4,830. I won't tell. But you know what you did. And I know what you did. And I bet you others do too. So we'll just hold on to that. We'll hold on to that one. I don't know how this didn't come out in trial one, Kerry. It is a little McDonough. But unlike McDonough, I'm going to come through. You're going to find out what I'm talking about at another time when it's appropriate. The difference between McDonough and me, like McDonough shit never came true. Nothing ever comes true. You just made a whole bunch of shit up and then none of it ever happens. With me, it's going to happen. You're going to see. But we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Kerry knows. That's between me and Kerry. So Kerry is a liar. And Kerry got up on the stand and lied about a bunch of shit during this trial. And now, I don't know if I'd say lie, if lie is the right word, because you can be wrong and not lie. Jennifer McCabe is a liar. She knows the things she's saying are not true. I am not convinced that Kerry Roberts knows what she's saying is untrue. Kerry Roberts is so brainwashed by Jennifer McCabe. They didn't even know each other before this. And she was on the phone with her the entire fucking day, according to Jennifer McCabe's call record. The whole day. What on earth were they talking about? And I also think that John's mother influenced Kerry Roberts. Remember, Kerry Roberts testifies that when she called Mrs. O'Keefe up, so she was in the car with Peggy. She went to go pick up Peggy and John O'Keefe's dad in Braintree that morning. And she said she almost crashed like a bunch of times on the highway or something like that. And that she was in the car with them when Karen Reed called her back. And that was, I guess she had her speakerphone or something. And that is when Peggy O'Keefe yelled at Karen and said, "And you just left him there? You dropped him off and you just left him there?" And John O'Keefe's dad, God bless his soul, said, "Leave her alone. She's been through enough." That poor guy, the bullshit that guy's probably been dealing with his whole life, And so think of that. So Peggy O'Keefe fucking hates Karen Reed. Probably hated her prior to any of this happening. And now she really hates her. And so she's surrounded by two women, Peggy O'Keefe and Jennifer McCabe, who are both in her ear telling her what a piece of shit Karen Reed is. And Karen did it, and she is so far into this shit, so deep into this shit, she couldn't possibly even contemplate that Karen Reed's innocent or the idea that Jennifer McCabe is guilty. She can't do it. She can't even think about it. It's too horrible for her to even contemplate. She's too far gone. They talk about cult. Kerry Roberts in a fucking cult. Like, she's Dunsky. So I'm not even convinced that Kerry Roberts believes the shit that's coming out of her mouth. And this is what she says during the trial, which I don't know if I'd call it a lie, but it is not true. Listen to this.
Did it over.
You recall who that first responder?
Total 1.5.
There was.
No.
You recall even whether it was a police officer, a firefighter, or a paramedic?
No.
Now, as Mr. O'Keefe is being taken from where he was located and found him to the ambulance, what happens then? What goes on from that?
So as Mr. O'Keefe is being brought from where they found him to the ambulance, which happens, according to Officer Saraf's dash cam video, at 6:14 to 6:15. That's when this happened. So what they're asking Kerry Roberts, what is happening between 6:14 and 6:15?
At some point, Officer Good told Karen to calm down because she was frantic. And it's
can't be true. Again, listen to the question.
At some point,
ambulance, fighter or paramedic. Now, as Mr. O'Keefe is being taken from,
as Mr. O'Keefe, what as Mr. O'Keefe is being taken?
Where he was located and found him to the ambulance. What happens then? What goes on?
What happens then as he is moving? What is happening at 6:14?
At some point, Officer Good told Karen to calm down because she was.
Officer Good tells Karen to calm down. Can't happen at 6:14. Why? He wasn't there yet. He doesn't get there until past 6:16. So it's impossible for him to tell Karen to do anything at 6:14 because he's not there yet. So Kerry Roberts isn't necessarily lying here, but she is so far deep in other people's bullshit that she just says shit she thinks is true. I don't think she's intentionally lying here, but I think she just has been brainwashed into just, yeah, that's what happened. Dude, Peggy O'Keefe told them to fucking put a timeline together. Literally told, you know, it's like for Jennifer McCabe, it's like, oh, fuck yeah. Let's do that right now. Let's get started on that timeline. Right, Kerry? This happened, right? Remember, Kerry? Immediately, Kerry's brain is just filled with lies.
Frantic. And at some point, Jen and Karen were in the back of a police cruiser to warm up.
Oh, Jen and Karen were in back of a police cruiser to warm up. Except that never happened. According to Mulaney, they were never in a police cruiser together. According to Good, Karen Reed was the only one in that police car with him. According to Jen McCabe, the time this happened, they were outside of the police car. So what the fuck? So this is a lie. This is what your brain looks like on Jennifer McCabe. This is what a woman who has been for the last 3 years manipulated and lied to by Jennifer McCabe. She just says things that are untrue because she believes them to be true.
I was standing outside watching the ambulance because I could see in through the ambulance that they were moving things and working on them.
And so what kind of conversation did you have with the defendant and or Ms. McCabe in reference to what you were seeing in the back of the end?
I said, they're working on him. They're working on him. And at one point, Karen grabbed the front of my jacket and screamed in my face and said, are they working on him? Is he alive? And I said, they're working on him. They're working on him. They wouldn't be working on him if he was dead. And then she had us hold hands and pray. And then at some point, she had blood on her hands and she told us she had her period. So I think she was just in a state of shock, maybe.
And what, if anything, did either you or Ms. McCabe say to her when she said that?
We said, no, that's not your blood. That's John's.
And what happened
then? Then the ambulance drove away.
And if you know about how long was it from time that...
Notice what she doesn't say there is, oh yeah, I witnessed, I was there for the Our Father. I was there for the period comment. Doesn't mention anything about, oh yeah, Karen also asked Jennifer McCabe to Google how long to die in cold. She forgot to mention that part because it never happened.
You were told by paramedic to step away from Mr. O'Keefe. They had this from that point to when the ambulance drove away.
I don't know. I don't think it was long. I watched them work on whatever they were doing in the back of the ambulance and they got in the ambulance and drove away.
And after the ambulance left, where did the three of you go, or where did you go? Where did Ms. Reed go? Where did Ms.
Karen, I had her in my car. Jen was going up to the door to her sister's house. And
Yeah.
I said to the police, I had been on the phone now. I called Mrs. O'Keefe. I called John's mother. I had called John's father. At some point, Karen was on the phone with John's sister-in-law, Erin, telling him John's dead. So I grabbed the phone from her. I said, he's not dead. He's in the back of an ambulance. He's been in an accident. And she said Paul was going to go, John's brother, to the hospital that they were bringing John to. So I spoke to I called Mr. O'Keefe. He didn't answer.
Next question. That'll stand. The next question.
So you call Mr. O'Keefe and Mrs. O'Keefe John's parents?
Correct.
At some point you have a conversation with them, correct?
Correct.
And do you know why it was that Ms. McCabe was going into the house on Fairview?
Do you know why? To wake her sister, I think.
And after those conversations, so you grab the phone from the defendant, you speak to Erin.
Again, I don't know why they didn't cross-examine her. They needed to cross-examine this woman. Big mistake. A mistake not cross-examining. I don't know what difference it would have made at the end based on my juror interviews, but I think they should have. They could have really grilled her. I mean, but again, I don't think. I mean, maybe it's because Kerry Roberts comes across as a likable witness. She does, because her tears were authentic. Like I was there. It was hard sitting there. Listen, she actually gave a shit. She actually gave a shit about John, but she's too far deep into bullshit, I think, to ever come out of it because of this evil wench over here. This one. Okay. I mean, just look at that. Look at that. The disdain that she had. She hates Alan Jackson, like with a fucking passion, because Alan Jackson is calling her out on her bullshit and exposing her for the monster that she is. Let's listen to some of her testimony.
Start up again tomorrow, okay?
Yeah.
All right, folks. I'm going.
Actually, this is the.
No.
He's a state trooper interviewing a witness. And
he was.
Actually, I'm going to find some good.
Proctor was going to show up and interview you and T.
Yes, I'm unclear who was there.
Scene, you said, well, there was an officer possibly asking questions, or it could have been a female EMT. I wasn't answering questions about that. Correct. And she didn't say, I hit him, I hit him.
Can you be clear on your question?
Let me rephrase that. Before we broke a few minutes ago, you had said, the reason I didn't say, I hit him is because I was never asked. And the subject never came up about what an officer asked her when she declared that. I just didn't offer it. And then you said, or it could have been an EMT.
Yes, I'm unclear who was there.
Is it true that at the grand jury, the question that was posed to you, this is counsel page 208, the question that was posed to you is, quote, so what happens next with yourself, Ms. Roberts, and Ms. Reed? And your answer was, so there are different, police officers getting statements from us. At one point, I'm standing with Ms. Reed, and she's saying, did I hit him?
Okay, this is the I hit him thing. Hold on.
4 minutes in total, Your Honor. Okay.
Look at look at her face during the 911 call. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Why isn't she crying? They always say Karen Reed doesn't cry. I didn't see her fucking cry once. I didn't see her cry in the dash cam video. Show any emotion. Karen Reed got her emotions out already. She's over it. She actually did. We've seen Karen Reed have a visceral, emotional reaction to finding her boyfriend's body. We've seen that already, right? She got that all out of her system. She's been too busy fighting for her life. She's numb to it now. It is what it is. I've never seen this cold-hearted bitch cry. Have you guys? The only fake tears I saw from her are the fake tears about fake emotional harm she experienced from fake witness intimidation. That's all I've ever seen from Jennifer McCabe. Oh, my children. Anyone who hides behind their children, by the way, is fucking full of shit. Lying like that. If you have to be like, my children, if we're attacking you and criticizing you and your immediately go-to reaction is somebody put semen in my kid's face, you're just distracting. You're just using your kids as a shield. And again, imagine listening, like Kerry Roberts cried, man. During her testimony, she fucking cried a lot. Talking about John. She couldn't fucking hold it in. And this woman is listening to a 911 call and just look at her fucking face. Look at that face. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Where's the emotions? Look at her. Fucking evil. Look at her. Evil. Fucking evil cunt. That's what you are, Jennifer McCabe. You're an evil cunt. guy on the lawn. Look at her. Oh, look at this. Is the fake part. Look at her. She's trying to be like, okay, I should do something here. That little deep sigh. Look at that. Did you see that deep sigh she did? Look at that. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. She's like, what do I do? What do I do? Should I act like I'm holding in tears? Look at her. Look at her. Cold-hearted bitch. Evil bitch. Murdering cunt. Look at her. Oh, she's like this.
Did you hear the audio recording we just marked in evidence?
I did. It was very muffled, and some parts were very hard to understand.
Understood. The person on the phone, who was that person?
I called 911.
And the person that was, for the most part, the person's voice that you hear screaming, sounding sort of hysterical, who was that?
Karen.
Did you also hear Kerry Roberts' voice at various times in the background?
Yes.
That's exactly what she's doing there, hippie chick. She's trying to act like she's like holding it together, barely, you know, but she's strong. She's strong. She's a fighter. This has been so hard on her family, and she's got to stand strong. She's got to stay strong for Johnny. And she's doing this whole like, no, she just can't do it. She cannot shed authentic tears because she knows what she did. She knows what she fucking did. She's not even Amber Heard. Amber Heard could fake cry. You know, the fake victim can fake cry. She can't even fucking do it because she's pure evil.
She was, for lack of a better word, trying to calm Karen down.
Yes.
And at some point telling her to just shut up. You're not helping.
Yes, exactly.
Because she was so hysterical and so upset.
Erratic.
I want to play the rest of this. It appears that this recording is longer than your 911 call. You agree with that?
Well, I'd have to see.
Well, the 911 recording.
I couldn't make that from that muffled times.
Right. My question to you is, I'd like you to listen very, very closely, and I know that it's a recording.
Right.
Yes.
Here we go. Here we go. This part. No one's coming out to help. No one's coming out to help. That's at the exact, as fate would have it, that little whisper that you heard right there, that was picked up on a voicemail left on John O'Keefe's phone from Karen Reed, because Karen Reed left her phone in the fucking car, right? Says, no one's coming out to help. And here's your, and it, as it so happens, it aligns exactly to the second, to the time that her phone records show that she called Nicole Albert, and Nicole Albert picked up, and a 9-second conversation ensued. Enough time to say, no one's coming out to help. Everything's fine. Enough to pick that up. It's so weird.
Stop. Did you hear a muffled voice in the foreground after you heard Ms. Reed?
I didn't hear shit.
Yell?
I heard two people talking.
Okay. One of those was a very muffled voice on this recording, correct?
Most of the recording was muffled.
The one I'm talking about is I just played.
So you mean by the sneaky shit? We know we're talking about the part where you whisper into there. Oh, most of it's muffled. Most of it. Bitch, what about the part where you whispered?
The voice that was muffled in the
And she knows exactly what he's getting at here. And she's known this has been coming for a long time, ever since I published the 911 tape. She's known this is coming. She's been prepared for this. She knows exactly what she's going to say. And that's just to cause confusion.
Around of the audio recording, for want of a better phrase.
Yes, I heard that, yes.
Was that you?
I don't know if that was me.
There's nobody else in the cab of the car with you, was there?
I was standing at the trunk of the car, outside of the car.
Kerry Roberts was over by Mr. O'Keefe.
Agree. Yes, they were kind of running back and forth at times.
And
So
Kerry was over by Mr. O'Keefe for most of that.
Yes.
So it couldn't
But
be
you were
them.
the one by the car.
Back and forth. Mm-hmm.
Back and forth.
You called Nicole, your sister. By the way, can we finish playing this just for, okay, thank you. Your sister at 6:07 and 42 seconds, correct?
6:07, yeah.
I don't have my phone record in front of me.
Oh, this shit. This shit.
Approximately.
And you made a second phone call at 6:08 and 17 seconds. Does that sound about right?
I did call her twice, yes.
And both of those calls show in your extraction that they were answered phone calls, correct?
I don't have my extraction in front of me.
Like, this is what I mean. Answers like that. I don't have my extraction in front of me. Like, you haven't been prepping for this for fucking years. Like, you haven't been over this and know exactly what you're going to say about the 6:07 and 608 calls. Like she has already she knows the answer for this. She's going to say it went to voicemail. But what does she first say? She makes him work for it.
Does that sound about right?
I did call her twice, yes.
And both of those calls show in your extraction that they were answered phone calls, right?
Both of those calls show that they were answered calls in your extraction. Not that you're admitting to, having a phone conversation with Nicole, but that's what your extraction says, right? She knows what it says. She knows she's been accused of this. She has an answer for it. She's got a response. She's already got it. She's going to say it went to voicemail. We know what she's going to say, but she makes him work for it. And why does she make him work for it? This is her answer.
I don't have my extraction in front of me.
I don't have my extraction in front of me. Like she doesn't have the fucking shit memorized by now. That she doesn't know that they're going to accuse her of calling Nicole at 607 and 608. She knows that, but she's going to make him work for it by saying, I don't have it in front of me. Why? You know what it said, Jen. You know what it said. But she says, I don't have it in front of me because she wants to make him work for it. She wants him to stop what he's doing, interrupt his flow, go get the papers, bring it up there, sidebar, fucking read it all over. Matt McCabe gets his cell phone out, looks at all the shit, blah, blah, blah. Before you know it, the jury is like, wait, what were we talking about? That's what this is all about. The entire fucking trial was filled with moments just like this one about making the defense work for it, about making them show them what they already fucking know. You know what the extraction report's going to say, Jen. You fucking know it. You know, you've been widely accused of this. Don't act like you don't have a defense for this. But she's going to make them work for it because it worked. It fucking worked. Because the jury got bored with this shit after a while. The jury's just like, wait, what the fuck are we talking about? This was something I didn't see coming into the trial. I didn't see this thing, this line, like how hard they were going to make them work for everything. Remember Matt McCabe taking his fucking phone out and reading it all for the first time, those messages? Like the guy didn't go in that. Wait a minute. What am I going to say? I'm going to pretend like I can't read it while I think about what I'm going to fucking say here. Brian Albert did the same thing. They all did, except for Colin. Colin, God bless his soul, just got up there and said the stupidest shit over and over again. But
I've been asked this question a bunch of times, right? You were asked this question at the other proceeding, is that right?
Yes. And
You're showing phone records.
if you have them, I could see them here.
You're showing phone records then?
Yes.
And at that time, you were confronted with the fact that phone records show a 7-second call for 607.
Objection.
I'm going to strike the word confronted. Go ahead and ask. Go ahead and ask the question.
You're shown evidence that the 607 call lasted 7 seconds.
My sister never answered the phone.
Okay. I know you want to answer your own questions.
Yeah.
but that wasn't the question. See what I mean? But she's got an answer. She never answered. But the extraction says she answered it, right? That's what the data says, that she answered it.
Answer my question. Were you shown records that showed the call lasted 7 seconds?
I cannot recall the exact record I was shown, but I was shown a phone record.
Okay. And you were shown that the same phone record showed that the 608 call lasted 8 seconds, right?
Again, I don't have it in front of me.
But you know exactly what it says. I don't have it in front of me. Like you haven't been fucking prepped for this moment for the last 2 years. She's just going to make him work for it. That's all it is. Make him work for it. Delay. Just drag this thing on for as long as fucking possible. That's all this is. Don't make anything short, sweet, and simple with them. Make them work for it. And notice, here's my question when it comes back to Rich Green. So Rich Green's supposed to be like, well, this guy is discredited, right? Because he doesn't even use the right updated version of Celebrate. How come it's only in regard to the Google search? Because I didn't see anything in that motion about 607 and 608 didn't happen. I didn't see anything about that. Nothing. But, you know. Like, so is this shit going to get thrown out too, or just the Google search? Because Rich Green also found 607 and 608 deleted. He found those ones.
About right. And there were a number of other calls that showed answered that weren't answered.
Like what? Like what?
So the two calls at 607 and 608, at least the records indicate about 15 seconds worth of open line time, talk time. 7 seconds, 8 seconds, right?
You have the record in front of you. I don't.
I'm just asking if you were confronted, if you were, there's that word again, if you were shown records that established that based on your own phone extraction, your phone records, that the 607 call, 7-second call, 608 call was an 8-second call, right?
I was shown records, but I don't know exactly what they were, how long the call said, because she never answered the phone regardless.
He also made a
And they still haven't to this day explained, then why does it say answered? So anything that goes to voicemail and you leave a voicemail for it comes up as answered. So every call you make that they don't, nothing should come up unanswered if that's the case. They should all come up as answered. Every single one of them. All of them. When she called Brian Albert at 6:23, that comes up as unanswered. Why? If it went to his voicemail, right? Is she saying that this only happens when a voicemail is set up? What? So if she left a voicemail at 6:07 and 6:08, where's the fucking voicemail? Like, can we hear the voicemail from Nicole's phone? You must have that, right?
another phone call at 6:23. Did you not? To Brian Albert?
If you could share my phone record, it would be very helpful.
Did you recall it?
I know I called my sister and I called my brother-in-law in the house. I do not know the exact times.
You made a phone call to Brian Albert as well, right?
I believe so.
That was around 6:23. It was a few minutes after you had called Nicole twice, right?
Correct.
And that call was not answered.
None of them were answered.
But the record showed that that call was not answered, as opposed to Nicole's two calls, right?
Right.
Okay.
Again, I never spoke with Mike Lank at his house. It was not an off the books meeting. It was Kerry dropping her daughter at one of her good friend's house.
Look at her. Look at her looking at the jury. We need to do a whole show, rewatch McCabe's testimony, I think, just to see how evil she is and what a lot. She's looking right at the jury. She's looking right at the jury, trying to. You guys believe me, right? You guys believe me, right? And did you know with this whole thing with Lank? Remember, this was just forgotten about on January 30th. She went to Mike Lank's house on January 30th, but I thought you guys didn't know each other. Oh no. I just happened to go there the day after John O'Keefe was murdered because I wanted to hang out with Michael Lank's Brockton wife there. He's got like a Brockton looking wife. And I want to hang out with Brockton wife just on a social visit. Just like when, but no, I don't want to see Mike Lank. I have no interest in him. Oh, no, just his wife, just Brockton wife. The day after John O'Keefe gets murdered, I just want to have a social visit with Mike Lank's wife. Right, totally. And then, oh, Michael Proctor's house? No, I wasn't at Michael Proctor's house. I was at Liz Proctor's house. I didn't even know Michael Proctor lived there. You know, I was there for him. I was there for her. We're trading recipes and talking about how mean Turtleboy is. That's what we were doing. So how the fuck did they know? Because this wasn't brought up in anything that she was at Lank's house the day before. And this could only be discovered from Rich Green. Rich Green, and she admits it too. Rich Green must have found in her phone location data showing that she was at Michael Lank's house, because this wasn't in anything. This was just dropped at the trial that she was hanging out at Lank's house. That means Rich Green, who they want to disqualify, was sharp enough to figure out that Jen McCabe, her location data shows her at Michael Lank's house on January 30th. And they catch her with it, and she has to admit it, and she just makes it up. Oh, no, it was with the wife, not Michael Lank. I don't want to talk to him.
Husband happens to be a Canton cop. That is what it is. That is the truth.
To be there.
A lot of coincidences.
Objection. A lot of coincidences.
Yes.
Auntie JJ.
Brian Tully told me.
What did Mr. Lally show you in respect of this issue about this meeting at Michael Lank's house?
He showed me nothing.
He just told you about it.
Brian Tully told me.
Okay, what did Mr. Tully tell you? Trooper Tully, what exactly did he tell you at this meeting about this Michael Lank issue?
He said, did you go to Michael Lank's on January 30th? And at first I said, no, I've never been to his house.
Oh, so I forgot about this whole exchange. When she tells him, so they catch him at Lank's house. And so Lally is the one that brings it up to her. And Alan Jackson's like, tell us about this. And she's like, no, I didn't go there.
And then I thought about it and I said, oh my gosh, yes, I did go there.
Oh,
and that was
then
the
I
extent of
thought
the
about
conversation.
it. Oh my
You
gosh.
said, yeah, I did go there, and he didn't ask a follow-up, like, what the heck were you doing at Michael Blake's house the day after this issue?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
You didn't ask a follow-up like that?
I do not believe he did.
So Trooper Tully had you come down for an interview. He confronted you with a fact that had never been disclosed before, to wit. You showed up at Michael Blake's house, and when you said, yeah, oh yeah, hang on, I think your words were, oh my gosh, yeah, I think I did go there. And he didn't ask a follow-up question?
This is so wild. So they got caught. The Lanka thing, they got caught. There's only two ways that they could get caught in that. One is Richard Green found GPS data in Jennifer McCabe's phone that catches her there. Now, if I were the defense, I would have just not. I think they have to give that to the prosecution if they plan on confronting her with it. But I'm sure they would have much rather just been like, so what's for the first time shown her at the trial? Like, what's up with this? But I think they have to give it to the prosecution, which means that Tully and Lally need an answer for this. Like, what's up with this? And she's like, have you ever been to Michael Link's? No. Well, it says right here you were. Oh my gosh. Actually, yeah, now that you bring it up, it's just like, who believes this woman? You're there the day after at Lake's house? Why?
He was there. You're spinning all of this.
Ma'am, I do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And she doesn't. You're spinning all of this. This is a weakness on her part. She sounds desperate. You know, listen to that. We need to revisit all of her testimony. Holy shit. It's bad acting too. You're right. Like, they got her on this one. They caught her there, and it's such a good point. Why didn't so Tully, you just admitted to the first time to Tully that you were at Lanka's house the next day, and he didn't have any follow-up questions? That actually I might believe, because it's Tully. Tully didn't look into the Ford Edge that was parked there next to a guy who allegedly was killed by a car that ran into him, and a car was seen there. Okay.
I'll spin. There's a judge here to make sure that I don't spin. I'm asking you a question. It's very direct.
I do not believe he asked me a follow-up question.
So that was the end of that conversation about Michael, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Lally didn't have any follow-up questions?
I don't believe Mr. Lally was in the room.
Who else? I thought you said Mr. Lally and Mr. McLaughlin.
They were. They might not have been in the room at that time.
I see. So Mr. Lally just happened to, just saunter out?
It was a different time.
So Mr. Lally was in and out of the conversation?
Mr. Lally was not there when this conversation happened.
Well, why is that?
Because I met with Brian Tully and he was not there.
Is Brian Tully taking notes?
No.
He's a state trooper interviewing a witness, and
he was
Objection.
Sustained.
I was just having some meetings with Tully, having some meetings, not taking notes, informal shit, really, whatever.
The same report that has you at Michael Lake's house also has you picking up Nicole Albert going by 34 Fairview just before you went to Michael Lake's house. You aware of that?
We did not pick up Nicole Albert.
So you went by 34 Fairview, then diverted, and right after you went by 34 Fairview, went directly over to Michael Lake's house. What was the reason you stopped by 34 Fairview first?
We didn't stop by. Maybe Kerry slowed down, but we did not stop by 34.
So you did drive by 34 Fairview. Giggles? What?
No, that's how we get to Michael Lank's house.
But the report shows that you actually stopped at 34 Fairview and then went to Michael Lake's house.
The report shows. So this is a Rick Green thing. I think it's a Rick Green thing. It sounds like a Rick Green thing. They got him on GPS going to 34 Fairview on the way to Lank's house and stopping there, which means they picked someone up. Who else would they pick up but Nicole Albert?
Have another oh my gosh moment?
Nope, no oh my gosh moment. We did not pick up Nicole Albert.
So what were you doing
there?
with
you over to Michael Lake's house?
No, it was Kerry, myself, and her daughter.
Maybe
okay.
Yeah.
About your calls with.
Oh, it's Jenny Sack. There she is. Jen brought her daughter to
We
court.
talked in some detail about your calls with John O'Keefe on the morning of January 29th. Do you recall that?
Yes.
I want to focus your attention on or at 12:14 a.m., moving up to about 12:50 a.m. You have that time in mind?
Yes.
You've seen
Okay. All right. So we need to just review this all one day. Is just go over Jen McCabe. We need to redo before the fucking trial. We need to just have a marathon. I might do that. The Glare did a 12-hour marathon. I might do a 24-hour marathon, a fundraiser. obviously, in which we do the whole fucking trial, 24 hours, as much shit as we can, 24 hours, and we just raise a shitload of money. It's gonna be dope. I think we should do it once we get a little closer to the trial. We just a whole review of the whole fucking thing. Because I'm like, I don't have time to do it all, but if I have 24 hours, I got plenty of time. Now, I feel like I should get like a 30-minute break in there to shower or something. I don't know. But I think I should do it. No guests. No guests. It's cheating if you have guests, Will. No offense. Because the guests can keep you. I got to do it solo. 24 hours alone doing this shit. I got to make hot. I'll have to microwave. I'll have to have some food ready. You know, a shower. I feel like a shower isn't too much to ask for. Shower break. You know, but I think we can do it. I think we could do it. Okay. All right. Let me read a couple turtle chats and then we'll call it a night. Let's see what we got here. All right. Canton mom sends $10 and goes, cops and McAlberts already ruined lives of Canton teens and families. They've had your phone content since October of 2023. Facts. That's true. That's true. I mean, I know a couple people that have been affected by this. I know one person, I'm not going to name who. She was immediately after they got my phone within a week, Canton woman, immediately like excommunicated from, you know, she knew the McAlbert supporters. She was kind of like a spy, if you will. And immediately after they got my phone, kicked out of every group. Every group. Nobody, you know what I mean? She didn't like she was a spy, essentially. And just immediately they figured out who she was and got out of her. Right after they took my phone. It's so weird how that happens. So weird how that happens, isn't it? But they know. And maybe that other people in Canton have had the same shit happen to them. It's just so weird how that happens. Hanky the Christmas Pooh sends $17 and goes, what the commenter said before is important. Jen McCabe Googled how long to die in cold. Hoss long tie die and kicked at 6:23 in 51 seconds and 6:23 in 57 seconds. She didn't Google Hoss long to die in cold until 6:24 in 18 seconds. So how could the searches at 6:23 explain the Hoss long to die in cold at 2:27? 2:27 would have shown up as Hoss long tie dacked and kicked, because those were the first two things Googled at 6:23. It's such a good point. You guys are fucking brilliant. Such a good point. I'm with you on that. I get it. Thank you. Ari sends $5 and goes, Jen and Kerry made a timeline, just like Michelle Triconis and Fotis Dulo. So did they do the same thing? What a coincidence. I know. Nicole sends $25 and goes, is there another expert at ARCA specializing in tech who can be paid for by the defense to confirm the 227 search was made, as well as the deletions on Tooth's phone? With love from Australia. I don't know if ARCA does that, but I mean, ARCA wasn't paid by the defense, so who knows? But I don't know. Thank you. Tina sends $5, goes, I sent you the link in your email, and I'm not a troll. I am supporting you. I just want you to know what is being put out there. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care, that much about it, let me see what we got here. Whatever. Oh, retarded. You are a troll, Tina. This is what I was dismissed and called a troll over. Okay, let me see. So Tina, thank you for the $5, but she's saying this is what was put out there by TM, whoever the fuck that is. It has 150 views.
And 1,000% guilty. The Canton police can't read 1,000% guilty. The Canton police headquarters after Michael Proctor and Bukaki get their hands all over it, and then video disappears. 42 minutes of that just disappears. It's done. It's over. Not only is Karen Reed 1,000% guilty, the state police are 1,000%. No, apologize. Not guilty. Karen Reed 1,000% guilty.
Tina, no offense, but you're fucking retarded that you wasted Thank you for the $5. I wish I could return it because you're fucking retarded that you wasted our time on that shit. Like, you thought that deserved a response? That fucking retardation deserved a response? A slip of the tongue that I quickly corrected. Good job. So, Tina, I don't know. If you are a troll, I'm glad I got your fucking $10. Fuck off. If you're not a troll, you're just too retarded to function. So give me more of your money, please. Thank you. Krusty's Hubcap Rosario. Oh, no, I already read that one. Okay. Some cash apps we have here as well. Tyrone sends $5 and goes, what should be the focus for the defense on trial 2? I mean, that's a complicated question, Tyrone, but I think the number one focus on is establishing what reasonable doubt is and making it very clear that there's no evidence that Karen Reed did this at all. At all. I mean, just debunking the alleged evidence they have on her and explaining why there's reasonable doubt with that. There's reasonable doubt with the taillight. No, they found taillight pieces. The Canton police didn't find it. We don't have to prove that Michael Proctor himself planted. We don't have to do any of that shit. It wasn't there at 7:00. Ask Paul Gallagher. It wasn't there. None of it was there. So, yeah, it could have been planted. Sure. There's certainly reasonable doubt that the taillight was there. That's like the strongest. I hit him. There's reasonable doubt of Birmingham that. There's reasonable doubt. You don't know that 2.2 miles an hour happened at 34 Fairview Road. There's no evidence of that. None of it. That's reasonable doubt. Thank you. Meatball Morrissey's Sketty Stain sends $15 and says, great show tonight. Thank you. Well, thank you, Meatball Morrissey's Sketty Stain. Alice sends $5, goes, happy belated 30th birthday, Krista. Right back at you. Brian sends $10 and goes, we are not Eskimo brothers. Still love you though, Turtleboy. Free can't read. Thank you, Brian. Nancy sends $50, says no comment. Thank you, Nancy. Holly, I know I already got that one. Okay, cool. Oh, Andrea sends $20 and says 24-hour live reenactment of the night John O'Keefe was killed. I don't know if I could do a reenactment. I have to actually go there. Oh, you're saying like do it. I see what you're saying. Okay. Jeffrey sends 10 and goes $10 for batteries for your chirping detector. I don't have a chirping detector. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say it about the chirping detector thing. So thank you very much for that. All right. Lissy sends $5 and goes, I can't believe the O'Keefes believe this bull. They believe it because they want to believe it. So there's that. Kim Fair, by the way, has she's being sued by somebody for defamation because she's called them a homophobe. Some guy in town. Meanwhile, she's friends with, Joe Warren, but she called some guy a homophobe, and he sued her. Then she filed a motion to dismiss, and it was denied. So Kim Fair's she should learn a thing or two about deformation as well. And Kim Flair's missing hubcap dentures sends $10 and goes, do you think that the defense will get more FBI docs before trial? Again, I have no idea. I wish I knew the answer to that one. Thank you. If I was Sean of the Gulf, I'd tell you the FBI is going to arrest him tomorrow. But I can't promise things that I don't know are a fact. So there's that. He sure disappeared, huh? Thank God. I mean, I will never be silenced. Last thing I heard from Sean on the Gulf was he's going to have some big Canton strong thing going on. And he was letting AI type his shit for him, and he's just disappeared. Shut down his group. I'm sure he'll be back eventually because he's addicted to attention. But yeah. Calling someone a homophobe is not defamation, according to well-established case law. Not according to this judge. You should read the ruling that it could be. All right. Anyone else have any other comments or anything? 'Cause I think we're good. 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 I think All right, I'm just reading the comments. All right, cool. Anyone else got anything? Have a good night. I read the post as well. Joe Warren. Joe Warren got his feelings hurt. Oh, did you really, Mary? That's interesting. I could totally picture that happening. All right. Is the defendant in your case still on X? The defendant in my case? Oh, I see. You're asking for the identity of the person who's getting sued. I don't want to give away too many hints on that one. We'll see. All right, guys. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night, but I love you fine people. And we will see you guys all for the next episode of Turtleboy Live on Tuesday night after the Karen Reed hearing and after my restraining order renewal hearing. And I'm sure there's going to be a shitload to talk about. All right. Peace, Turtle Riders.